Hey, there it is.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You son of a bitch, I've already got water. I've already got water today. Fuck. Oh, well.
Well, it's 6 a.m, and I've chosen to open a can of fresh cherry Coke. And it's been a while since we've done an episode with a guest on it, but sitting here next to me is Hypotoria.
Yes, hello.
In the same room. The second Australian man I've had at my house this year.
Exactly. You've replaced one Australian with another. I can't believe you would do this.
Yeah. You have been replaced.
That's fine.
So
that's going to be in a more literal sense, but we'll discuss that shortly later on.
True. Yes.
Yes, hello, Hypotoria. This is literally my first vocal conversation with my fellow Australian as well. So hello.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, so we are accompanied by Phil Hypotoria. Obviously, If you don't know the man, what the fuck are you doing? Pay attention. He's a fellow musician like Gus, and I've just been gandering around the online stratosphere. Notice you got like 3 or 4 channels, and I'm like, damn, how do I keep up with this? But your main channel,
like me.
I know, right? And they all got very similar names as well. Like, damn, that shit. Which one's real, which one isn't? But it's really cool to see you someone else also making a lot of great original inspired music. And I've listened to a few of your songs just offhandedly, and like I've been doing this thing, especially with Spotify, where every time I follow an artist, like I go back to their older stuff and start making my way through all their songs, because there's so many artists where I listen to like 1 or 2 songs and then follow them. So I've been slowly going through yours. But I'm massive fan of a lot of your stuff, like Ignite, Falling, your most recent song, and Delicious as well. Delicious is my favorite. That shit slaps.
Delicious is a banger.
Such a banger. And
Thank you.
Welcome to the podcast, mate. It's great to have you.
Yes, I'm glad to be here. This is my first time on a podcast.
There you go.
Yeah,
first time for everything.
Yeah.
Wow. We break ground here on FireStorm.
Oh yeah.
Like,
if there's one thing we're known for, it's quality fucking content.
Exactly.
Like
the most inconsistent audio levels and the most like inconsistent editing software.
Yeah. Trent for the longest time had like the worst microphone setup he could possibly have, just because of his location. He had a condenser microphone.
Yeah.
And had cars and motorcycles racing past him all the time.
Bro.
And like and the fucking air conditioning blasting on him.
I know. It was terrible. And like it quite literally, the microphone you guys are probably using now is the microphone I now own because of my time.
So because we recorded like a bunch of Persona 3 Reload with these microphones, I was like, Trent, you have to get this. Like you just like, it's just a necessity at this point. And since then it's been a lot better.
Yeah.
Yes, but then I want to flip that shit on you back in regards to quality, because every time you make a goddamn thumbnail, that shit is in like 580p. Like you use Google Slides or something to edit them.
I do use Google. I actually use Google Slides. Yes,
I know. It's such low quality every time. It's like, well,
and the only reason you notice is because you go in and look at them. If they're on YouTube, you'll never notice.
I beg to differ, but that's okay. It doesn't matter, because we have 160.
I mean, yours are like 720p. Don't even try to like play a superior game. All right,
1080. It doesn't matter. We have 169 subscribers. That's all that matters on this channel. Like nothing else.
All of my SilverStorm thumbnails are the same quality.
Well,
and I have 22,000. So
you would have 222,000 with 1080p thumbnails, bro. That's a lie.
Right.
But that's a lie. But I'm just doesn't matter. So I want to hear a bit from our guest here, Phil.
Fuck.
You are from Perth, Western Australia. Is that correct?
I'm technically from a town a few hours south of Perth, but no one knows of it. So it's a very small town. So
Yes.
I just kind of tell people I'm from the Perth area because it makes more like people know of Perth a lot more than they know of the town that I live in.
I am in the
I've
exact
heard
same
like
boat.
all week. I've heard like all week about like we went to Taco Bell yesterday, and Phil was like, "Yeah, we have a Taco Bell nearby, 3 hours away," and I was like,
Okay, dude, that is the most Australian thing I've ever heard. Nearby, 3 hours away. That's so real, man. Like, I'm in the exact same situation. Like, I live in a town with like 100 people or something like that, and like it's about an hour or so away from Adelaide. So like, I'm just saying I'm from Adelaide. So it just kind of fits the vibe there. But have you been around much of Australia other than Perth before?
I've been to Sydney a number of times, like in school. All the schools in my area do like a Canberra trip around year 9 or 10.
Yep.
It's like junior year.
mm-hmm.
And so went over there to like Canberra, Sydney. But apart from that, like that's sort of about it. Like when I've gone traveling, it's more been to like Malaysia, the Philippines, Hong Kong, like the
You went to Japan at one point.
Japan, yeah, that kind of thing.
Nice.
So I don't know. I just kind of like I've never had any friends that lived in like other cities. And so no real reason for me to like spend the 1,000 Australian dollars return to go over east.
I completely understand that. That is a fucking dude. You can't trust Qantas, especially. They take your money. It's daylight robbery. But if for whatever reason you wanted to visit Adelaide, you can visit a very small town an hour away from Adelaide, because that's where I'm at. So
we'll just do this again, but reversed.
Reverse, the two Australians in the room, and then Gus off at the distance.
You gang up on me. Yeah. Uh-huh. That's good content.
That's awesome. So you've been to Malaysia and stuff like that. I haven't heard of a lot of people visiting like Malaysia and whatnot. That's actually pretty interesting. Like, obviously got the chance to go to Japan last year and America earlier this year. How are you finding it so far?
I'm finding it pretty good. The time zone, like we've had such scuffed sleeping schedules.
God, my sleep schedule is scuffed even when you're not here.
Yeah,
and
but like. Because on my way here, like I think it was 28 hours of travel time for me.
My fucking alarm went off.
Turn that shit off.
There we go.
So I got like 2 hours sleep the first day. While I was traveling, and Gus didn't sleep the day that he came to pick me up. So we crashed out at about like 2 p.m. And I think we both slept for about 12 or 13 hours.
I was probably awake about the same amount of time you were. Yeah. About like around 28 hours. It was over 24 hours. Yeah. Definitely.
And so we both like woke up at 2 a.m. and we're like, okay, I guess this is.
Yeah.
I guess we're up now.
We fell like, because we went to the mall on the first day.
Yeah. And
then we were, especially me, I was really feeling it that day. And we came home and it was like, all right, man, I gotta sleep. This is too much.
Look, I know you just got here, but I'm about to die, so I'm so sorry.
Yeah. So we've been like a little bit like every day since then. We've been like pushing it back a little bit, so that we have at least I woke up about an hour ago.
Yeah, I woke up. What the fuck is the time?
It's 6 a.m. It's just 6 a.m.
So I think I woke up about 5-ish.
Okay. Yeah.
But I was also like, I stayed up till like 10 o'clock because I got distracted on my phone.
Nice.
So I was like,
yeah. So we've been pushing. We have semi-normal sleep schedules now, but we're still, once we get to, because we're leaving to go to the convention later today, or at least go to Raleigh, where the convention is, and by that, those like the VIP party happens pretty late.
Yeah.
So.
Well, because that's for tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, I forget what day it is.
Yes. That's what happens when you jet lag.
Yeah. That's like 6 p.m. tomorrow, I think, is when.
Yeah, and it'll go to like 10 or 11.
Yeah, something like that.
By the time this episode goes up, you guys would have attended Nerdcore Party Con. I remember talking about it with you during a Persona episode where I just read out the list of attendees.
Yeah, we were like grinding in Tartarus or whatever, and I was just like, who is even at Nerdcore? Or I think Trent was probably like, who is even at Nerdcore Party Con? And he read off a list of names, like, I don't know who they are.
You're like, I know that one, I don't know that one, that one's an asshole. And I'm like, whoa, my God. Jesus.
Whoa. I'm opinionated.
Who was the asshole?
I think I said it was Cam Steady.
Oh, yeah. That's it. Yeah.
Man, every time I see Cam Steady tweet, I'm just like, shut up.
Shut up, my guy.
Man, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. I've never met him, but I'm just like, the way he tweets, I'm just like, man, you could portray yourself in a better light.
Apparently, he is the same in person.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Of course.
There's nothing worse than someone that acts exactly how they tweets. But actually, no, that's kind of a lie.
Yeah.
I literally, as I said that, I was just like, at Gus Writes Music on Twitter, and I'm like, fuck.
At Gus Writes Music on Twitter.
You know what?
That's literally just my exact thoughts.
You know what? No, I take that back. You know what? Be all honest on Twitter. If you want to be completely honest like that, then live up to yourself and retweet images of Yukari whenever you see them. So,
yep.
Totally worth it. Who are you fans of that lineup? Like, who are you there to see, or are you there for another reason?
I need to look at the lineup again.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was gonna say
there was a lot of Well, go ahead, Trent.
I was gonna say because from what Gus has explained, Nerdcore Party Con is one of the main reasons you went over. Am I mistaken about that?
No.
Definitely is.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the main reasons. So my
it's more like there were a bunch of people, like kind of smaller artists who aren't performing, who were kind of interested in hanging out.
Yeah.
And you wanted to meet them.
Yeah, so like,
because you work with a lot more of like the nerdcore community than I do.
Yeah, so there's quite a large number of like the smaller nerdcore artists who are going.
But not performing.
Yeah. Like they're not big enough to perform at the con, but
you could take JT Music. You could take him.
Probably.
In a fight?
In both. In a fight and a rap battle. I could see it happening.
But yeah, there's quite a few artists that are going that I'm a fan of. But it was more because
There's
got the
a meet and greet part,
we got the VIP tickets and everything. Like, so a lot of the artists that are performing on the day
on Saturday,
the Saturday
main concert,
are going to be just hanging out and chatting with people on the Friday.
Whoops.
So so
that would be like your Cam Steady's Living Tombstone.
Yeah, like basically all of the artists are going to be there,
right? And some of them will be performing that night.
Yeah, so the at the VIP night, there's like a stage of smaller artists that are performing.
Yes.
So not like the main event, but ones that wanted to perform. But it's more of like a small thing. But I guess the other big reason why is because it's also sort of like I'm almost treating it a little bit like a networking event in a way.
Yes.
Because it's hard when you're trying to work with these people if you're just like a name on a screen, you know?
A Discord user.
Yeah, like you're a Discord user.
The worst impression you could possibly have, a Discord user.
Or like a random dude that tweets at someone, or like if I send a message to a big artist, they don't even like look at me a second way because I'm just some random dude. Whereas meeting them face to face and making that connection like can open a lot of doors. And even just meeting these people that I've admired music-wise for a while, that's also going to be a cool thing. And then I have the added benefit of all of my friends that are like smaller artists, the artists that I've worked with and stuff, they're all going as well. So it's kind of like a combination of all of that together.
And
I'm just going to be there.
And the benefit of calling it a networking event is that you can write your plane tickets off on tax.
Oh, 100%. I'm already doing that.
Yeah.
He's thinking 10 big brain strat right there.
No,
that's That's sick, man. Like that is really cool because, like, especially I would have expected a lot of other smaller artists to attend as well. And like what you said about like actually being more than just a name on a screen, like 100%. Like I completely get that. It is much easier and much more recognizable. Like when you actually get to meet someone and then they see your face and be like, okay. That connection is finally made. Like that's why it took me like an hour into the car ride with Gus when I got to America to be like, holy fuck, you're real. What the hell? Like that is nuts. Like
I don't think I felt
your
that.
life is in my hands now.
I know.
I think I just got in the car with Gus and I was like, oh, yep.
Yeah.
The first thing I did was flip him off. Like, it was classic Australian.
That's true, actually. Yeah, he like saw my car and he was like, "Fuck off."
I think I was just so like, there was so many cars and it was so hot, and I was just like,
oh my god, it was fucking steaming. It's been steaming hot all week. Just kill me, dude. Like, just every time we step outside, it's like, oh, I want to die.
Well, I think the day that I arrived. It was like 6 o'clock in the morning, and it was for you, Trent. It was already like 32 degrees, and like humid as fuck.
Yes,
like
it's so humid this time of year.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, fuck that. I mean,
So-
the contrast is we've just got endless rain at the minute going on right now. That shit fucking...
I think I'd prefer the endless rain.
I think it's going to be raining like all weekend while we're at the convention.
But it's still going to be humid though.
Yes.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Fuck that. Jesus.
I don't deal well with like humidity and heat.
Yeah.
So
I don't go outside.
No, dude. Like, and I'm a little bit of a bigger bloke. So like, when it's hot, I fucking feel it. Like, I retain heat. That shit sucks. It's not good.
I'm the same. Like, ever since I was younger, like my biggest thing is like I sweat profusely. And it's always been like that. And so that's why most of the clothes I have are like black or grey.
Right.
Because they don't show.
You can
That
avoid
is
it. Yep.
such a vibe. Oh my god.
But yeah, no, it was just that first day. It was cooking, and because it was cold on the plains and everything, because it was winter in Australia, I was wearing like long pants, and I was carrying my jumper around with me because it was too cold on the plains to like not wear long pants and stuff. And so I was standing outside waiting for Gus, and I was just like, as soon as I saw your car, I was like, hey, I'm here.
Get in! Quick! I have the air conditioning going.
Crank that shit up, please.
Yeah. It's been so bad. It's been like just scorching. Like the humidity has been just immediately stepping outside.
Yeah.
You're like,
I think every single time I step out of the door, I'm like, oh.
Yeah, no, exactly. And it's not just because it's light outside. And we're kind of like in, like when I literally went to the bathroom earlier, like, oh, the lights. Oh my God. Oh my
Like,
God, it's so
I hear
bad.
32 degrees and I'm like, oh yeah, that's hot. Then I hear 32 degrees humid and I'm like, nah, just kill me now. Like,
I think it, according to the app, it was like humidity is making it feel like 37 degrees. Like, like the humidity was adding like 5 degrees Celsius to the
it's because
temperature.
we're like, we're low elevation near the ocean. Like, it's just prime thing just to fucking kill us with that humidity. It's so bad. Like, but the only nice thing about it is that we do get a pretty good like mild climate. Like, we get all 4 seasons pretty much. So like our winters are fucking cold and our summers are fucking hot. Like, and we get snow pretty regularly, so it's nice. But like when it's in, like when you're in the middle of summer or in the middle of winter, you're like, fucking kill me. That's why one of the many reasons I stay inside.
That's completely fair. I have a question in regards to some of the stuff you make online, Phil. So I'm sure there is a very simple explanation for this, and I'm sure you've been asked this question 100 times. So what's the difference between Hypotoria and Typhlosion?
Okay, so Typhlosion was my like old artist profile. And I used to, because I was really heavily inspired by Nate Wants to Battle when I first started making music. I don't know
He's
if
just
you know.
like me for real.
Yeah,
No,
literally.
he knows.
I was about to
Um,
say that for you.
Yeah, it's literally like
Yes.
we were talking about it. Yeah,
Trent's honestly might be a bigger fan than me at this point.
really,
Yeah.
damn.
Okay.
that's-
The past year I've started to zone out, but for like the past 3 years, he's always been in my top 3 Spotify artists. So
yeah, that was the same for me up until about a year or two ago.
Yeah. For
but-
me, it was about 3 or 4.
I still remember your
disappeared.
profile picture where you had a Nate Wants to Battle wristband. I'm like, yo, that's my guy.
Yes.
That's my guy.
Yes, that was like something I wore in high school to be edgy because it came. Oh, it was the thing that came with the Sandcastle Kingdoms pre-order or something,
Yeah.
like the CD pre-order.
I
think it came with that.
yeah,
And I was like,
that's
this is cool. I'm gonna wear it.
that's really funny because one of my previous profile pictures for Typhlosion was me wearing an Nate Wants to Battle shirt.
Nice.
God damn.
I think I still have like a Nate Wants to Battle shirt I got like on clearance.
Yeah.
Like a final sale, and it's like, oh, $15. I'll get it.
But with Typhlosion, like I started making guitar covers and stuff and like instrumental covers on that. But then Nintendo started cracking down on content creators like using their IPs in their names and stuff like that. And I can't remember if it was from Nintendo themselves or if it was from like the YouTube like network I was a part of. But I got an email basically like recommending me stop using Typhlosion because of copyright.
Right.
Because it is just like the
Typhlosion.
name Phil in the middle of the Pokemon
Typhlosion,
name.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and so I was kind of like, shit, like I don't want to risk a copyright, like, especially like Japanese copyright is so
pain in the ass.
yeah, like it's so hard to deal with.
Massive head
And
fuck, yeah.
with the amount of plays that I have on my stuff on there, I was like, I really don't want to, I don't want to risk having to pay back all of that money,
Yes.
like that I've earned because of the like I didn't want anything bad to happen, and so I stopped using that for a really long time, and then I created Hypotoria because I was kind of like, I started doing original songs on Typhlosion and they bombed, like because everyone knew me for my cover stuff on that, and I was like, I don't want to be like chained to one particular sub niche and not be able to move. So I created Hypotoria in 2016, because Typhlosion was from I think 2013 to 2016 is when I mainly used that. And then I created Hypotoria, and I originally started out just making like EDM like remixes and like covers, but in a different way. And then I discovered Nerdcore with Youngtown.
Yes.
And Nate Wants to Battle. Like Nate Wants to Battle in Youngtown. Like Nate started doing his own original stuff about like Five Nights at Freddy's. And then I saw Youngtown doing like Zelda raps and that kind of thing. And I was like, oh, this is cool. Like, I wonder if I can make that. And so I started making music under Hypotoria. And then I discovered Schwabity off of something.
Around the same time?
Probably like 2020, 2021.
Okay.
Like it had been a few years and I had been uploading music for a while. And I think I met you around...
it would have been around the same time.
Yeah.
Because we did Down by Law at the end of 2020.
Yeah.
And...
Yeah, because I think I had just... That was technically before I joined main Nerdcore.
Right.
Because that was like January 2021 that I joined like the main part of Nerdcore.
Yeah.
Because Schwabity posted his server, his Discord server, and I joined that and I started chatting with people on there, and then I joined other servers, and then it kind of just like spread from there. But yeah, I've made like tons of I've got so many different like profiles and like accounts and that kind of thing.
Not me looking at Hypotential on Twitch, like goddamn,
yeah,
like,
so
that's
that's your one Twitch account.
Yeah,
that's your one Twitch account. Yeah, but that's where you stream your games and then
well, because
YouTube channel.
I asked a bunch of people if they would like to see gaming content on Hypotoria, and they were basically like,
it wouldn't fit.
It wouldn't work because it would just crowd the channel with uploads, and then that would kind of ruin the algorithm as well.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, I'll create like a new name that is close to Hypotoria. Like it's still got hypo in it, but it's hypotential instead of Hypotoria.
So how did you come up with the name Hypotoria then? I swear I asked this question to every musician guest we have on because it always is fascinating to me. Hypotoria, where did that come from?
It's not as interesting of a story as I went onto a YouTube channel generator, like name random generator, and I was like looking through it, and like I saw like hypothermia was like one of the names it came up with. I'm like, I don't want to be hypothermia. I was like, but hypo sounds kind of cool. And then there was like Historia was like the one under it, and I was like Hypotoria. Okay, like
done.
That sounds okay.
I'll be taking that. Thank you.
So it was quite literal. I because the website I used told you if a name you put in had a Twitter account,
right?
Like all of that stuff.
Oh, I remember those.
And I put in Hypotoria and nothing was taken. And I was like, that's it.
Like, that's it.
Yoink.
Yoink.
That's hype.
Yeah. So it wasn't for like anything in particular.
Yeah.
It was purely just
for me, like I Trent already knows, but it stuck. Like when I was a kid, I loved playing Sonic 06, ironically.
Yeah.
And Silver the Hedgehog was my favorite.
Unironically, I loved Sonic 06.
Oh yeah. It's actually kind of like looking back on it sucks ass, but like I kind of love it. And Silver the Hedgehog was always my favorite because I thought his psychic abilities were fucking cool as hell.
Yep.
And so like it started with like Silver Gaming way back in the day. So that I was doing Silver or gaming content like from like fucking 2014, I think.
Yeah.
And then so Silver just stuck, and I was like, so I'm gonna make this my like if I just start doing music, I'll like make it a name. I'll make it sound like an actual like first and last name.
Yeah.
It's like what follows that? And I was like, Storm sounds cool.
Storm.
Yeah.
Storm is cool.
Yeah, and then that's how it became. It just stuck. So that's it. It's just
Well, there we go.
You get them for the weirdest things.
We now have the name lore for like Hypotoria, like Mechanum Perfect, Divide Music.
Yes.
Like we've got so much.
We had I don't know if you know
lore.
this. We had Divide Music on the podcast years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like this was before he moved to Britain.
This was
Wow.
OG.
Yeah.
Like when we first started the channel.
How did that happen?
So Trent like reached out to, or look, he made a video. Amazing online artists.
I was doing on my YouTube channel at the time. I was doing a YouTube series called Amazing Online Artists, which was also how I met Gus.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I did a video on like Try Hard Ninja, and then a few others, and then I did one on Divide Music. And then I did one on Gus. I made one on Gus because I saw him through his Nate Wants to Battle instrumental covers.
That's how I found you originally too.
Yeah. And it was just like, I was this motherfucker with 300 subscribers. I'll fucking make a video about him. Look at how the ties have turned. Anyway,
so real.
and that's how we started talking. And then we made we started making our channel. We made FireStorm, and then like he saw like,
it was like,
I saw you
2019.
just and then I made
FireStorm.
the Amazing Online Artists on Divide Music, and he's just like, I see you've just started a podcast. If you want, I'm more than happy to be a guest. And I'm like, fuck yeah. Like,
it was crazy
because like he
this was
messaged me
almost 5 years ago now.
Damn.
Yeah, like because I posted it on Twitter, and he messaged me on Twitter like, yo dude, thanks for the video. I saw you made a podcast. I'm more than happy to be on it. And I'm like, dude, fuck yeah.
Well,
and
yeah,
like,
so we talked to him for like an hour and a half, and that's the only time I've ever interacted with Divide Music.
Divide is going to be at NPC.
Is he actually?
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
I gotta
it's
say
like,
hi to him.
Yeah, that's like.
Are we like, hey man, you remember me on the podcast 5 years ago?
Dude,
Totally,
dude,
right?
Come back
You do,
on.
right?
Like I've had like 3 other interactions with him over Discord since then, but like we haven't talked in years. But we
never talked to him.
I know you said like, maybe when I'm a bit bigger, I'll reach out and see if he wants to be I
have nothing
on a
I
song.
want. I have nothing to do with like. I would be like, what do I even do with Divide Music? I have nothing I want him to be on.
Yeah,
Well,
now
he does
the
anime
man's-
covers and stuff.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, he
Yeah, yeah.
I know
occasionally does.
he worked with Jonathan Young like
Yeah,
a couple days ago.
He did the Helldivers song a few
Yeah.
weeks
I think
back.
he did a Bakugo song. Recently.
Yeah, like ever since then, man's collaborated with like Amelie, Jonathan Young. Like man's been fucking all over the place, and we're just like, damn, he's outgrown us 100%.
Yes, he's outgrown us.
He doesn't need the Firestorm pop. Like he doesn't need it.
He
Like,
does not.
but
he does not need it.
But
He's
if he ever does hear this, or if you do see him and jokingly say something, yeah, I mean, we're more than welcome to have him back on because you guys made fun of me for not playing a Zelda game, and since then I have played Twilight Princess. So get fucked.
Since it's been 5 years. He's played one Zelda game.
I know.
And it's only Twilight Princess?
It's only because I showed Twilight Princess was the first game I showed Trent because I was like, I've played all the 3D Zelda games, like, or except Twilight Princess and Skyward Sword. So I was like, oh, let's do some gaming content. I want to play Twilight Princess as part of our gaming content.
Yeah.
And then Trent
I thought it was sick, and I
latched on to Twilight Princess and then just played Twilight Princess again, even though he saw me beat it.
Yeah, I know, and I was just like, I want to play it by myself. Why not? I got time, and then I had to, and then I did it. And I did it on the Nintendo Wii as well, not on a fucking emulator. I fucking did that shit.
Wow. Yeah. Hell yeah.
But nah. So that's that was really funny how like we were like 25 subscribers and Devi's just like, yeah, I'll be a guest. And I'm like, dude, we're gonna pop off.
This is crazy.
We're gonna pop off. And I'm like, then we didn't.
Yeah. even that particular podcast isn't one of our most viewed videos.
No.
It's kind of crazy though. So I don't know if you know, but I'm pretty sure Divide Music is like 6'8". He's a fucking giant of a man. Like,
how does he interact with anybody?
I don't know, but
how is anybody taller than you?
I know.
What the fuck?
Yeah, like I saw photos of him standing with like Cam Steady, and I'm pretty sure Cam Steady is like a little bit taller than you.
Probably a little bit, yeah, around my height.
And he's like there's apparently some like really tall dudes in Nerdcore.
What have we been eating? Like, that's crazy. Jesus Christ.
He's something real tall.
Well, it'll be easy to pick out of a crowd, I guess. Like, oh, there he is.
Oh my god! you gotta look up and yell in order to fucking for him to hear.
Hello, I'm down here.
Yeah, no, that was sick. I mean, yeah, definitely say hello if you fucking see him. That'd be sweet.
I mean, he's not gonna remember me, but I'll say hi.
Well,
I'm a fan of your stuff, man.
He might, like, if you're like, yeah, you were on my our podcast
like years ago,
5 years ago,
yeah.
Like,
I remember I made him laugh like twice, and I was like, you know what? That's good enough for me.
No, but yeah, because we were talking about like so much different shit, like the different YouTube and Twitch stuff, like YouTube's losing money for Google, and then we're talking about
and he's
games.
like quite a bit older than I am.
Yeah.
So I was like, just making him laugh. I'm like, you know what? I did it. I've accomplished my goal here.
That's probably why he's ignored us, because he was just like, yeah, I'm like, I did those kids a favor. I'm not going to do that again. It was just, yeah. But that was
he
awesome.
Didn't do shit for us.
No, it didn't. It honestly didn't. But it was still cool. Like, I'm more than happy to have anyone on board and talk. And like, it's fucking sick. Like, actually being able to talk to all these motherfuckers, and like the very few interactions I've had with you, Phil, like, you seem like a fucking sick dude, and I'm more than happy to talk to anyone. Like, it's really cool.
Thank you.
Also,
I'm not willing to talk to President Joe Biden.
That fucking video.
Dude, that's my favorite shit in the world. Oh my god. Oh, that's so fucking funny.
Hang on. I think he's gonna send.
I'm gonna find it.
You will. You have to now at this point. Jesus Christ.
Fucking god.
I think you reposted it as well.
Oh no, I unreposted it. I'm such a fool.
You wimp.
Yeah, no, dude, it's
like media with Pokemon music or something.
No, it was a different user.
Ah, fuck.
Yeah. Fuck. Oh wait, it might have been after that. I can't remember. I don't remember where it would have been. I'm so silly. But there was like it was like a news thing. There it is. I found it. Where's Trent? There you are.
I'm here.
Okay. I'm sending it to your Twitter.
I'm here.
I'm here.
All right.
But yeah, it was like so late last night, and I saw that. I was like, oh my god.
Pokemon Black and White. Yeah.
Did you play the song?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you read the caption?
Oh, there it is. President. Okay, there it is. Yeah, sorry. I already saw the song, and I actually had to click on the post to see what it was retweeting. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
President Biden has tested positive for COVID. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Oh my god, all that shit is like the past week. That's been fucking nuts.
Oh, bro,
Dude.
Trump got shot.
Dude, me and my brother were gonna go see Tenacious D, and then because one of the motherfuckers made a joke, they canceled the rest of the tour because they made a joke about Trump. I can't fucking believe it. All this shit's fucking nuts.
That's crazy.
So stupid. I know. Fucking look. There's only been
That's so
3
funny.
presidents that have been shot at, and one of them was President Trump. Like, it was.
He wasn't even
gonna
president. What happened?
Well, he's gonna be. Get ready. He's coming back.
Oh, he's coming back.
Especially with the last second Matrix dodge. Have you seen the fucking they've done like 3D analysis of his head?
Are you
during
fucking
the thing?
serious?
Because it's literally like he had his head tilted when they fired the thing, and then
To the side.
yeah, like
Okay.
it would have gone like through the back of his head, and at like the last possible second he turned to look at the thing behind him, and because he turned to look at the thing, it just skimmed his ear. But if he had been like a second late or a second sooner, it would have gone straight through his head.
Oh my god.
And
Jesus.
I was watching it, I was like, I can't even. I don't like the
can't even
guy,
be
but
mad
like
at
I can't be mad at the.
I mean, he knew what he was doing.
And then
clearly.
then he got shot, and they were like, "Get down!" And then he's like, "Wait!" and does like the all white pose, like.
No, it's just like,
Oh my
I know
fucking
when
God.
there's a good photo up. Let me get in this. Yeah. Oh my
got
god.
shot at. It was like, I lived, bitch.
Like that literally, instead of saying fight, or like whatever he said, he should have just said, I lived, motherfuckers, and just ran off stage. But like,
Pulled out the fucking reverse card, like.
Take this, motherfucker.
no, he just points in the direction of where the bullet came from over there. Take a shot. Just
Hollow purple.
oh my god.
Curse technique.
Man.
Domain expansion.
Domain expansion. Less taxes for the rich.
Trump towers.
Domain expansion. Unsalted fries.
Fucking hell.
Jesus Christ.
Man is a menace, and he's about to win back the seat because he is a man that got shot at versus a man who cannot comprehend sentences. Like, it's man.
Bro, I watched like 5 minutes of the debate, and Joe Biden, like when he wasn't talking, he did not know where he was. Exactly.
My favorite joke about him is that whenever he walks, he transforms into a Roomba and just fucking like it looks like he just walks off very slowly and robotic. It's so funny.
Jesus.
Oh, man. He was in La La Land that whole fucking time.
I think he
so
always is in La La Land. Like, I don't know how they give a dementia patient like that level of status, but I mean,
Yeah, the highest
America
level of
popping
status.
off. Yeah, America.
They do
popping off
whatever
right
they
now.
want, man. They can. I mean, I don't. You know.
Look at what I just sent you. By
I
the
have
way.
never participated. I've never participated in the American political system, so I'm not. Technically, I'm not a part of this country.
That's fair. I mean, we legally have to in Australia.
Yeah, I heard about that.
No, we're kind of forced to. Yeah, no, you're part of like the nerdcore like offset in America. Like, it's just like I make music and that's all I do. Leave me alone.
Yeah, exactly.
No, we have to vote. That shit is essential.
I mean, I'm pretty
And
sure last year I just didn't do it and paid the fine because I was like,
really?
Yeah, because in my town there's only one voting place, but like everywhere from around comes in, so there'll be like 700 people waiting in line. and then I had to work that day. Like, I couldn't get the day off work, and so I had like maybe an hour window out of the whole day to go and vote. And I got there, and the line was like out the door. And for some reason, like if you're still in line and the time cuts off, they just won't let you in. And I was like, I don't think I'm making it. I'm just gonna fucking like, I'll just deal with it's like, it was like $30, so I'll pay the $30.
Yeah, jeez.
Like,
Not even that bad. Damn.
yeah, it's like it racks up. So if you miss one, it's like 30. If you miss 2 in a row, it's like 100. If you miss 3 in a row, it's like 300. So like it escalates.
So just do every other one.
Yeah, just like every other year.
That's
just
what I
like,
was thinking. Yeah.
yeah. But it could be different in South Australia because I know each of the states have like different laws regarding that. So I don't want to when you like skip the vote and then get like a $400 bill, be like,
oh
fucking
shit,
Hypo, what the fuck?
damn it, what the fuck, man?
That Phil lied to me. No, it's I don't know. I honestly like. I have very limited views on our politics because it's all fucking dumb. So I don't really care. Politics in general is dumb.
The only thing I know about our politics is what I see through fucking friendly Geordies.
Oh, real! I've told Gus a little bit about friendly Geordies, but like, yeah, dude, that's real. Man is God sent doing God's work.
I'm pretty sure he's like the only independent journalist in Australia at this point. Like,
and they tried to kill him for it.
Yeah, they tried to they firebombed his house. Like,
I saw that.
Yeah, those fuckers. Yeah, and then he lost. He like, oh my god, that shit sucks. But yeah, he's good. He's fucking legend, dude. It is rare to hear and talk to other Australian like creators and whatnot. Like, I've been trying to reach out and talk to a few more. Like, I literally made friends and played Tekken 8 against 2 small indie Australian VTubers, and I've got a few other friends that are also Australian that write, but then like nearly everyone else is from America. So I'm like, well, fuck. I honestly, like, I was like, I know I'm going to America to meet with Gus. I'll try and catch up with a few others, but then they all live in like the other side of the country, and I'm like,
yeah,
fuck. Damn.
Yeah, the west side of the country is the California is where all the creative people go.
Yeah.
Or at least the successful ones. Yeah.
Well, it's surprising, like there's a huge amount of nerdcore artists which live in like Florida for some reason.
Yeah,
like,
and a lot of people live in Florida. But the thing is, I think there's a trend. This is my in-depth analysis of like American geography and like a fucking distribution of wealth and shit.
Yeah.
But like if you live in Florida, there's like a very high chance your family is well off.
Yeah.
Because it's a very like highly conservative state. Like they, a lot of people retire to Florida.
Yeah.
So a lot of really well off families live in Florida. And I think that when your family is well off, this is what happened for me because my family was well off. It opens up the door for for kids to have the opportunity to be creative.
Yeah.
So I think that's what it is. Like, I think so. For like a lot of people who have started creating their own stuff grew up in like fairly well off households. A lot of them being in Florida makes sense.
That makes sense. My family was not well. Like, I don't know if I told you earlier. I think I did. I told you, like, I put myself in debt getting my music studio and everything set up.
Mm-hmm.
What? Tell us a bit about that then. Damn. So
I wanted to do music for a really long time, and this may be a little heavy at times. But basically, growing up, like, my family always told me that I was never going to go anywhere with music. They always told me that like I wasn't as good at singing as my sisters or wasn't as talented musically as other members of my family. And so like I did guitar lessons in school, but every time I would be like practicing singing in my room, my family would be like, shut the fuck up, like stop singing kind of thing.
Jesus.
And music is all I ever really wanted to do. I didn't know how to do it. And so when I got my first job, like I found my old SingStar microphone from the PS2 days.
Oh,
I found out how to connect that into my laptop, and that's what I recorded like my first couple of like Typhlosion songs on.
wow.
Was my SingStar
SingStar
PS2
mic.
microphone.
That's incredible.
That's a throwback.
I had like a shitty laptop. Like I had a MacBook in school, and then it broke, and my parents were like, "No, we're not paying. Like, it's a fucking hobby. Like, we're not paying for another MacBook." And it was like it's like $2,000, and my family did not have a lot of like spare money, and so I like when I got my became old enough to like put aside money and stuff, and I was never really able to save because my parents would need help with like bills and stuff like that. And so basically what happened was I moved out, and I was like, okay, cool. And I was looking through like my banking app, and they were like, oh, there's a credit card. And I was like, oh, adults have credit cards. Like, I'll get one. So I got one, and then I was like, oh, fuck yeah, I got like $8,000 to spend. And so I was like dumb, naive, like 18, 19-year-old.
Nice.
And I was like, oh, like if I use this, I can buy all the music equipment that I wanted. And so I went on to Nate Wants to Battle's like what equipment he used.
Right, yep.
And I was like, buy, and like bought a new computer and everything like that. And then I started getting the credit card bills, and I was like,
it's just like after you click confirm purchase, it's just like this is the moment when he realized he fucked up.
Yeah, because I had it all in one massive order, and it came to like $6,000, and I pressed buy, and then I was talking to one of my friends, and they're like, I was like, yeah, I got all this music stuff. They're like, how the hell did you afford that? And I was like, oh, I got a credit card. And they were like,
that's like a classic fucking teenager with a credit card story.
And they were like, are you a fucking idiot? Like, what are you doing? And it took me like a solid like 5 or 6 years to pay off that credit card debt, because it was like I was not earning enough, like living out of home, having to pay for everything. Like my job didn't pay great. So it took me a really long time to pay off all that shit, but that was sort of like how I was able to buy the equipment to make better music. But it kind of sucks because like by the time I properly understood how everything worked, I was like 26, 27. And even then I still didn't know a lot about like the mixing and mastering side of things. And so
yeah, you kind of just have to do it.
Yeah. And so it was kind of like I felt like I was starting off on starting off behind everyone else, because like Jonald as an example. I don't know if you know Jonald in Nerdcore.
I know the name.
Yeah, he is a fucking phenomenal artist, but he like his family is as far as my understanding is fairly well off, and so he was able to go to like music college like straight out of high school and stuff like that and learn from like professionals. So when he came into the community, he was like out the gate, like
he had like that experience, kind of knew what he was doing.
And he never really had issues with like once he started getting his like paychecks in from music, because he was making such high quality music from the get-go, he was then able to just spend like hundreds and hundreds of dollars on like art and videos and stuff like that. And that's the stuff that I still don't like. I don't.
Yeah, me too. I'm in the same boat.
And especially living in Australia with the cost of living, in order for me to do music full time, like I need to earn probably double or triple what someone in America would need to earn per month to live. Like,
and we are like bordering on a recession as well. So like it's bad here in Australia.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's not that fun.
Yeah. Well, like I own my house in Australia. Like we've got a mortgage on it and everything. And that I think is like in a town 3 hours away from like 2 or 3 hours away from Perth.
Right.
It's still like nearly $3,000 a month. For the mortgage. Like
that's crazy.
And that's not including like utilities and everything like that. And so
do you have many people living with you?
Well, it's me and Nick. Nick's my
Your partner.
husband.
Yeah, your partner.
So, yeah, we've owned our house for like 5 years. But when COVID hit, I got let go from my job, and we had to go on hardship assistance with my mortgage repayment, and they kept accruing interest. So basically, like the payment stopped, but the amount that I owed kept getting higher and higher because the interest like still got charged.
Yeah.
And so we were 2 years into our mortgage, and that like 8 months or 9 months without work basically like took us back to the full cost of our mortgage owing again.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, like the government only did so much to help people in that regards.
Yeah.
And, like, they definitely fucked a lot of people over. Like, there was a lot of mishandling with that sort of thing during COVID. And yeah, I mean, like $3,000, that's a lot for two people to pay every month. That is
and
nuts.
Nick didn't work for a really long time. So Nick is went through a really rough period in his life, and was dealing with a lot of mental health issues, trying to figure out who he was. And so basically, it was all on me for like 3 or 4 years of living in the house. It was just me paying everything, and I was working a single full-time job. Like it's not enough to.
And I don't know about the timelines, but was that EB Games or was this a different job? I remember
that
you
was
worked
a
at EB
different
Games for a bit.
Yeah, I technically still am at EB Games for the moment. But that was basically like my town's Apple store, like the Apple reseller of my town is who I worked for.
Okay.
But they specialized in like, they were like the only computer store in town, and they had really high margins that they needed to hit on products. And so a lot of the job was trying to convince people to buy like the shit that made us the most money. And I remember I hated that job. Like, it was not a good place to work. And the part of the reason was because my job was basically to try and scam people out of their money. Like, and I morally, I fucking hated that. And I remember my manager, like a couple weeks before I left, bragged that he sold a $7,000 gaming computer to an old lady who just wanted to like chat with her like family. And he was like, I convinced her that this is exactly what she needed. Like this was sick. Like he was gloating about it. And that sale was what made them, like, they looked at that sale and how much he made versus my last sale, and they were like, you're making less money, we're gonna have to let you go.
Right.
So I was like, now thinking back on it, now I'm like, I'm glad.
Yeah, thank God.
Thank God I'm out of there.
Thank God, especially like.
But then I went and worked at Telstra, and that like
oh my God. Telstra?
Yeah,
fuck,
you know.
I've heard so many horror stories of people working at Telstra. Like, dude, my sympathies to you. And like, I can't relate exactly the same, not at all, with your this Apple reselling story, but there was a brief few months where I worked at Shields Jewelers, and like any sort of retail that has a KPI, they are real like, you need to make this amount of money no matter what, and that they're fucking rough, and especially in an industry like that, like with electronics, like that shit sucks. The only good thing I got out of working at Shields Jewelers is that I sold an old couple their new wedding ring, and that was the only good memory I had from my few months working there. The rest of it was shit.
That's sick.
So you've been through the ringer when it comes to employment, and like especially with Australia, man. Like, well, dude, like if you're not in the construction industry or the retail industry, it's rough.
Well, I mean, for me, like, because you probably would have seen that like my uploads in the last couple of years have been a little inconsistent. when you were looking through my stuff in terms of like time. I don't know if you noticed that or not.
Well, I've been going backwards, so no.
Yeah,
going
like,
oldest to newest, so yeah.
Well, basically, like with my uploads, like, so my work situation at home at the moment is I do 7 days a week, 60-hour weeks, between 2 jobs. That's what I do at the moment at home. So I work at EB Games, and then I do support work with people with disabilities, and that's like what I do now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Nick is finally earning enough money with his job that I can now afford to leave EB, which is going to free up about 30 hours a week extra free time and give me like 3 or 4 days off a week. Like, so
that's awesome.
Yeah, that's like, I'm finally going to be able to actually do the shit that I wanted to online. But it has been like a good 4 years of like 7 days a week. Like, and so it has been very difficult to try and find the time to consistently put effort into music when I come home and I just like sleep. Like,
that is completely understandable. Like, is that
absolutely.
like is that splitting between like morning and midday shifts for like between the 2 jobs, or is it like how does that work? Because like you would barely have any time to bloody you wouldn't have exactly as you explained, you didn't have any time to do anything.
Yeah, well, I like, it depends on the day. So like, I think Mondays and Thursdays I have like a normal kind of 9 to 5 sort of shift with support work. But when I work at EB, like at the moment, sometimes like I'll do 8:30 to 6 at EB, and then I'll do like 6:15 to like 10 o'clock at night with support work. Okay. So like, because support work is a little more flexible, like I'm able to work around it, but I was kind of only sticking it out because both places kept telling me how desperately they needed me for work. But I realized because I was always like, I don't want to let them down. They've been there for me. They gave me a job when I didn't have a job, kind of thing. And it kind of it clicked like last month. I was like, they don't actually give a fuck about me as a like retail big companies like EB Games and stuff. They may go through like a couple of weeks of rough period, but there is so many people that want to work there. It is the only gaming shop in a small town. Like, they're gonna find other workers. Like,
I was literally like about to say, compare the two. Like, support work is like a very important industry, and they are desperately needing people. EB Games is quite literally our GameStop. They do not need you. They're lying.
Yeah, it was because like the manager at my store left, and then a bunch of other people left all at the same time, and it was literally like me, the new manager, and then like 2 workers who could do only like once a week, and that was all the employees we had. But because there was no need for them to find other employment, because I was available for so many hours, they didn't bother like trying to find
Were you paid a manager's wage at least if you were taking on that sort of role?
So this is the reason I decided finally that I was going to quit, is they were training me to be the official like store assistant manager. And then the manager of my store came to me one day and was like, hey, so this other girl that's working with us as well, basically they became friends. And like the manager and this other girl that worked for us. And she was like, I feel like you guys are on the same level. Like, you're both technically senior sales associates, even though I was there for 3 years. She'd been there for like 4 months. And so she's like, I'm also going to be training her for the assistant manager job. And then every time we would do like a performance review, it would be, you're not doing as good as this person. You're not doing as good as this person. Like, it was just...
This is your shitty manager girl.
Yeah, the one that I was telling Gus about. Like, she doesn't like guys. Like,
she's a huge lesbian.
Yeah, she's like, God. She hates men. Like, which is ironic because EB Games is... like gaming, the gaming industry is a predominantly male industry.
Yep.
and she would never have like, she'd have crazy high expectations out of me, and so eventually I was just like, you know what, I don't want to compete against someone who's literally 10 years younger than me for a job that means I'm going to be working 7 days a week for the rest of my life, because it does not pay well enough as an assistant manager to warrant quitting support work. And I was just like, nah, fuck it. Like, worst case, I'll pick up a couple extra shifts with support work, or I'll deliver Domino's pizza at night.
Right.
Like,
exactly.
there's other things I can do for money.
Do your support work and then just be like an Uber like one every third day. Like, it does not matter.
Yeah.
Like,
and that's kind of why I was like, I'm finally going to have the chance for the first time in basically since I left home like 10 years ago, that I'm going to actually be able to have more time to put into music and the stuff that I like doing.
And the thing is, like your recent stuff has been by far some of your best. So like when you're like, when you're like finally going to start making that consistently, we're in for some good shit.
I've definitely noticed the dichotomy, like the vast like improvement, like comparing the old stuff to the new stuff. Because like, the list I gave you before, like Delicious, Falling, and Ignite, like that's all been past year or so. Because I've seen those pop up and I've listened to them. I've really enjoyed them. Like going back and listening to your older stuff, like there is some good stuff in there, but just hearing the quality improvement,
same for
like,
me. Such a big difference.
It's really like you see a lot of bigger bands and how they've had a fairly consistent quality from like 20 years ago, but it's very noticeable with independent solo artists. Just like at some point it just clicked for them, and then like both of you guys especially, and Mecca as well, you guys are in your fucking prime. Like you guys all got the skills necessary to make killer songs. Like I've been like, dude, even though it was a few, I don't know how long ago you guys released Sin, like that shit still goes on.
Loves that one.
Yeah.
Sin is hard. That's actually one of my favorite covers we've done. Yeah. It's really, really good.
Yeah. But no, I'm really happy for you, man. That sounds like you finally are in a position to make everything work. That's fucking awesome, man. Like, thank you for telling us about.
I like it. I feel a little awkward talking about it sometimes, because it is such like, there is so much like horrible backstory stuff,
right?
To get
a lot of bad circumstances surrounding it.
Yeah, to get to the point where I'm like, hell yeah, this is finally going to work out.
I know, like it can be rough, and like especially when you've got like bad work environment, bad family environment. Like it is the nature of it. But like you've definitely come out of it much stronger, and you're working hard and you're doing what you love finally, and that's impressive, and that's awesome to see. So
thank you.
Like, good on you, man. That's fucking sick.
We're all about it around here. Have I told you Trent started training to be a wrestler?
Really?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
So that's kind of lines up with. So he's finally like taken that step. To like
sick.
So he has. That's why we couldn't do the podcast yesterday.
Yeah,
because he was training.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, no, quite literally. Like I had a few years of like complete nothing going on. Like I published my book in 2018. I lost my files for it.
It was like a light novel. Yeah.
Yeah. And I
Phil's looking at me. Phil's looking at me like I forgot to tell him like the earth exploded.
Just like the casual wardrobe.
Yeah.
The casual book. Yeah. I'm an author as well.
That's sick.
Yeah. There you go. Straight out of high school, I got the first light novel-esque book out. And then I lost the files for everything from it. Oh. And then I was kind of like, I might get back into writing. And then COVID hit, and I'm like, just feeling shit, not doing a lot. So then it's only really been the past few years where I've really gotten back into writing. And then last year, and like for my health, and because I'm a massive fan of wrestling, I was like, fuck it, I'm going to start training. And like, I'm coming up on a year of training. I'm already doing like a lot of on-screen presentation stuff for them, and it has been a massive improvement for my health as well. So like I'm
That's
in
sick.
a very good place, I reckon, like with everything. So
No, that's awesome.
like
I had
this is
no
definitely
idea. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't just drop lore about Trent like whenever, I'll let him do it.
No, that's no. I'm surprised. Like you were just like, oh yeah, so you're sleeping in the Australian room. By the way, here's all the lore about Trent, the guy who stayed here before you. I'm gonna drop this. I've read.
Yeah.
But no, that like, especially
But, yeah,
now.
So it's like, lines up with the whole like doing what makes you happy thing. So
yeah. No, that's awesome.
He did Trent also sent me the first couple chapters. So the light novel he did, right? That came out like a few years ago.
Yeah.
So he's rewriting it from scratch. He sent me the first few chapters. I don't know if you're much of like a text reader, but because I know you have ADHD, probably not the best thing for you.
I like it.
Yeah, if you're curious, I'll show you the draft he sent me.
Hell yeah. That'd be sick.
If you want it, more than happy to pass it on. Yeah, like it's kind of like that weird mix between like, do I want to try and publish it as, because I follow a few different people and I have a few different friends that make original English light novels.
Yeah.
So they all have like a series of light novels from they publish every few months, and I've been thinking, because that's what I kind of wanted my first book to start off as. But then I thought, should I just rewrite it as a full novel or that? So I'm kind of in the middle of deciding which way I'm leaning. But either way, I'm rewriting it from scratch with new lore. It's a fantasy series. So like new lore, making sure it's all improved, because my skills have definitely gotten better over the past few years.
Yeah.
Like 2018, I fucking misspelled a word on the blurb on the back, and that shit haunts me. Like that shit fucking annoys me. So yeah,
you could totally like get, when Supernova comes to Adelaide next, like get a table in the artist alley or something, and just like
that's. Yeah, whenever the book comes out, that is definitely one of the plans. And like Adelaide's main convention, well, not main convention, Adelaide's homegrown convention, AvCon, I've done hosting there as well, and like they've said, oh yeah, you're more than welcome to do stuff here, but like, if you want. I'm like, yeah, sure. So
hell yeah.
But definitely Supernova, I've definitely considered that as well.
Yeah.
But I volunteered at Supernova one year, and I actually met some people that later became some really good mates. So bloody, we Australia has very little in comparison to America of like shit like that.
Yeah,
like fucking, and Supernova sometimes isn't even that good.
Yeah,
so, like,
it's kind of, it's very hit or miss. Like Supernova, I think I remember Supernova a few years ago. I met Eric Stewart, the original voice actor of
That's
Brock.
right, you told me about this.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I got a voice recording of him saying the I'm going to use this frying pan as a drying pan. Like,
Let's go.
Like the classic Brock line.
That's so hard.
But I got him to record a promo for my YouTube channel for Typhlosion.
Oh my god.
But he didn't understand what I just said YouTube channel, and he's like, I don't really know what that is. So he's like, hi, this is Brock from Pokemon, and you're listening to Typhlosion, the best YouTube show on the internet. And I was like,
thanks, man.
I was like, it's
you didn't have the heart to be like,
I was like, it's not a show. Like, I make music. Like,
damn. Like, he tried.
He tried.
Oh my
I mean, I
God.
paid like $40 for him to do it, but he tried. Like,
still, you should just put that at the start of every song. Like, what the fuck? Like, the best YouTube show on the internet.
Yeah, I was like, fuck, that doesn't work. And then I changed from Typhlosion like a year later, and I was like, oh, well, that's in
gone.
the void now.
Yeah, it's gone.
I was
Also,
like, if I ever meet him again.
Speaking of Typhlosion, am I blind? Because I've just looked at Typhlosion here, and there's a new album from this year. Did you drop a new album on Typhlosion?
So basically what I decided is that because YouTube is like the big thing that Nintendo looks at. Like Nintendo don't really look at the Spotify side of things that much. because YouTube is much easier to like police in a way. And so what I decided to do is like whenever I had the inkling to like come up with do a cover, or like sometimes it's fun to just like make an instrumental cover of something, like to get the creative stuff flowing without actually like making a full original song. But like, because that profile has a lot of plays. Like, Typhlosion has a big following. And like, because I've got a cover of the Naruto theme song that has 12 million plays on there now.
Yeah, because you got Spotify algorithm.
Yeah.
Did
I don't know if you know why that song has so many plays, Trent.
You told me, but go ahead and tell the people.
No, I don't know why it has so many plays, but it's literally just an album art of some fucking clouds, and I'm like, how did this happen? What the fuck?
Yeah, tell the people.
Okay, so do you remember the whole meme of like, let's raid Area 51? Like that whole...
Yes, that...
So Spotify made an official Raid Area 51 playlist to try and capitalize on like the hype. And my cover of the Naruto theme song was the closest on Spotify to the original
At the time.
Wow. And so they picked that song for the playlist.
Because the Naruto main theme is on Spotify now.
Yeah, like
yeah.
But that at the time, that was like the only one on Spotify that was close. Everything else was like in orchestral or everything. But I tried to make it like as close to the actual original Naruto theme, and it blew up. It got like 2 or 3 million plays just from that one playlist. Like from being on Spotify's official Raid Area 51 playlist.
That's fucking hilarious. Oh my god.
And that song still to this day earns me like the most money out of all of my YouTube stuff. Like I have earned I'm happy to talk about it because it's crazy.
Throw out a ballpark.
$22,000 is how much that song has made me.
That is crazy.
Like since it launched in like 2018.
That is so wild.
And so
what?
Yeah, so still to this day I get like about $400 a month just from that one song. Like
that's so hard.
Dude. That's fucking awesome.
And so that's how I got out of debt because that one
go.
song, like I just put all...
rating Area 51 and Spotify. Oh my god.
But I was also
fucking heroes.
That's fascinating. So both of you guys in a very small way are like a footnote on internet meme culture, because didn't you tell me, Gus, that you matched with the chick on Tinder that made the You're My Little PogChamp meme or something like that?
I'm pretty sure.
Didn't you yeah.
Yes.
So like you matched with her on Tinder or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or I don't know if I matched. I think I at least saw her.
Yeah.
I don't think she was actively. She probably wasn't looking for attention at that time.
Yeah.
She probably got plenty of it. But I think I saw her on Tinder.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh. Well, swipe right just in case.
I thought you told me you matched with her, but that's
can't
still,
remember.
That's fucking. That's still
even if I did match with her, I don't think she ever said anything to me. So
no, definitely not. No, but that is so funny. Like,
it's just crazy because like I never uploaded that song to YouTube or anything like that.
Right.
Like Typhlosion as a YouTube channel has like 190 subscribers. Like, but as a Spotify artist, it's got like 33,000 monthly listeners. And it's basically all just from that one fucking Naruto theme song cover.
That's nuts.
And so I kind of was like, I feel like it's a waste to not at least upload, like not do like big weekly uploads or anything.
Yes.
But just every now and then I'll drop like an album on there of just like cover. Like the most recent album was literally just piano covers of the OST, the first OST of the Pokemon Red and Blue.
Nice.
It was like 11 or 12 tracks of just Pokemon OST. And it was just piano in Logic Pro that I just recorded me playing them and then uploaded them.
Hell
That's
yeah.
like and so I was like, I fucking might as well. Like,
yeah, shit.
I've got that following.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I do the same. Well, not quite the same thing, but like sometimes I'll be listening to a song and I'll be like, you know what? I'm just gonna like learn this guitar track. And so like there was a Persona track that I from Persona 5 that I was like, I want to like learn how to play this. There's like a little solo in the palace theme.
Yeah.
And I was like, and I was like, oh fuck, I want to learn how to play this. So I like took like 15-20 minutes to learn how to play it. And like it's so interesting too, because now I'm like, I finally at the point where I always like dreamed of like years ago, where I can learn things by ear.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, I know what I'm doing. I seem like a semi-competent musician. This is insane. And it's crazy, but it's like, that I totally get it. Like just doing anything like that, it just helps get going.
Yeah. And especially with like, because I make constant original music, like it fucking,
oh my God, I could not. I could not.
It drains on my brain all the fucking time.
Oh, I bet it
like,
does.
And so just being able to like kind of smooth brain it and just make like a cover. Yeah, like and so I was like, hey, okay, yeah, I'll start using that again and uploading to it. But yeah, I was talking to you yesterday, I think, about how I wanted to do more like anime covers and stuff.
Yeah.
So I decided this morning, or like late last night, that I'm gonna create a new channel.
So you did decide on that?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
A new channel for like covers of songs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I came up with a name, but
let's hear it.
There's a little bit of lore behind it. So my middle name, one of my middle names is George.
Okay.
And my mum is Italian, and she used to call me like Giorgio.
Okay.
Because that's like the like Italian version of George.
Sure.
And then there's the fashion designer Giorgio Armani, and so eventually it became like Armani as like a nickname,
sort
for
of
me.
a
pseudo nickname.
Endearment, yeah.
I so thought you were gonna go towards Hypotoria, and I was like, what the fuck?
No. So it has no relation to Hypotoria, because I want it to be like more disconnected from the nerdcore scene.
Yes. Good idea.
Yeah. Because nerdcore is a good. It is an interesting place. It's an interesting
It has
community.
its ups and downs.
Definitely.
Ups and downs.
But basically, like, I was thinking about it, and like, when I was younger, I could never say Giorgio. Like, Mum would always call me Giorgio, but I could never say it. So it was like Geo, like Geo. And then,
but it was me, Geo.
like Geo, like the rock, like a Geo.
Yeah.
And so the name that I came up with was like, it was just Geo, like, because that's what I used to call it. And I looked, and there's surprisingly no one that's just the word Geo twice on like on Spotify or anything.
Geo.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then I could never say Armani either, so it was Annie, and Annie is like short for anime on like, and so I was kind of like, I could do like Geo Annie, and that's like the like a link to
I
like
see it work. Yeah,
like a link to my childhood,
yes,
and me as a person, but also like something that is semi unique. Like,
yeah, I could see that working. Do you have any like idea of like what you want to cover? Like any just throw?
I just wanted
songs?
like basically any song. Like I want to do like anime covers and stuff, because I've always loved doing anime covers.
Yeah.
I've just never.
Do you want to do that Ranger Reject? Is that one you're thinking of?
Yeah, that's one of the ones I want to do.
That's such a banger.
So am I from my understanding is so Typhlosion will be the occasional Pokemon thing.
It'll just be like
Hypotoria
instrumental, like OST stuff.
Yeah, and Hypotoria will be original music.
Yeah.
The current, the new channel with the current placeholder name Go Geo.
Go Geo.
Sorry, say it again.
That's actually
Go
not
Geo.
a bad.
Sorry, no.
It's Geo
Annie.
Geo Annie is like the full
Geo
thing.
Annie.
Yeah.
Geo Annie will be anime covers.
Yeah, like anime covers, or even just like covers of popular songs that I like
covers.
Because I was like, it's something that I love doing, and the only reason I haven't done it is because
time.
Not only time, but they perform like arse on Hypotoria. Like I did a cover of Gurenge.
Okay.
Or whatever.
Gureng, yeah.
Gureng,
I always call
yeah.
it Gurenge. It's
the
not that
Demon
right.
Slayer opening, and it literally got 80 views on my channel. And my channel normally gets around 2,000 views per video,
Right.
and it got 80, and I was like, "This isn't good."
Yeah.
Bruh.
Time to
and
stop.
Yeah, every time I do a cover of any sort, it flops on Hypotoria,
Wow.
and so I was like, you know what? Fuck it. It's gonna have no relation to Nerdcore really, apart from the fact that I'm the one doing it.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna see what happens. See what I can do with just a cover channel that's separate from fucking
Yeah.
everything else.
So you've got a home for OSTs, a home for originals, and a home for covers.
Yeah.
I like that. That's pretty cool.
And I had people telling me why don't you just do it all on one channel? Who cares what the algorithm says? And I'm like,
I care what the
algorithm says.
Yeah, so when you decide that this becomes your job, yes, you need to worry about what the algorithm says. Yeah.
But yeah, because I don't know if you've ever felt the same with Silverstorm, but sometimes I feel like I've not boxed myself in the wrong way, but sometimes I feel a bit frustrated with the fact that some of the stuff that I want to do doesn't ever perform because it's outside of
Yeah, see, that's my evolution strategy, my channel is a far cry from Nate Wants to Battle Instrumentals now.
Yeah.
Right? So you
deleted them.
Yeah, well, and even then, I just don't do, that's just something that you would never even consider seeing on my channel anymore.
Yeah.
But I went in stages, right?
Yeah.
So I would do one thing very consistently and I would just keep doing it. And that was the Nate Wants to Battle Instrumentals was one of the first phases.
Yeah.
It was the second phase because the first one was a bunch of, I did remixes. I called them remixes. They were really just reproductions of mostly Undertale OST stuff way back when. And then it went to Nate Wants to Battle Instrumentals because I was like, oh, I can't really sing very good just yet, but I'm sure there's a ton of people who would want to use these, and I have the ability to create instrumentals. Might as well try my hand at this, and I think people would like it.
Yeah.
And that was how it the channel started to take off.
Yeah.
Lift off the ground a little bit. And then from there, I started doing I transitioned into doing the anime covers, and then I just did those over and over and over again at at a consistent rate. And even now, I do kind of feel if I do something other than the anime covers and an occasional original song, they probably won't perform, which is kind of why I have an outlet for that. So I have a second channel, which is just called Gus. I just call it. It's just I just upload there very rarely.
Yeah.
But I did a cover of a Persona 5 Tactica song.
Oh yeah.
And because I fucking love it. It was written by Lotus Juice, the
Yeah.
guy on the Persona 3 soundtrack. And so I did a cover of Quiet Storm, and a song fucking rules.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take this probably would not perform well on Silver Storm.
Yeah.
And I don't even know how well It's Going Down Now is gonna perform. I have no idea. But I'm gonna upload it there anyway.
Yeah.
But it's Quiet Storm is it was a DLC track of Persona 5 Tactica. So it wasn't even in the main game. So I was like, this is
a
not
very
good.
vague OST track from a game.
But it was written by Lotus Juice and it fucking rules. So I was like, I'm going to take 3 or 4 hours, make a cover of this track and upload it. And I did. It's just I just feel I look back on that fondly because I'm like, oh, that was a cute little thing I did. It was just a one-off thing. It's something where I can do something that I wouldn't normally do.
Yeah.
And I think if I had that urge to do something like that, I would just put it up there and be done with it.
Yeah.
Because I think that's what it is. I'm pretty happy with where I am.
Yeah.
On the channel, because most of what I actually want to do falls into the category of or it's like a Venn diagram of what am I capable of and what do I want to do.
Yeah.
So because there are a lot of things that I want to do, but I'm not it doesn't fall into I wouldn't be able to play this track, or I don't think I would sound good with this style.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. Yeah. So you've heard in my sound, I listen to a ton of cutesy fucking anime tracks. I would love to cover those, but of course I would not. It doesn't really fit with what I do.
Just make them into metal covers.
Right. Yeah. No, it's I fucking I love those silly fucking upbeat idol anime songs. I love that shit. And
95% of your playlist in the car was just it's Japanese. It's moe as fuck. Like, there's no way
Yeah.
Gus could sing this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's exactly it. Like, there are a ton of songs I really love that I would be like, oh, I'd love to do this, but it wouldn't perform, A, and B, I don't think it would sound good with me. And I'm not going to be, like, I don't want to rope in, that's another thing, like, I wouldn't want to rope in a collaborator to a track that I don't think would perform very well. So, like, unless it's someone who I'm like, you know, like, I have a plan to do a collab with one of my friends, and she and I have, like, been friends for a long time, so I'm like, she'll do this song with me. It was a Tatsuya Kitani track.
Yeah.
So I was like, I really want to try this, and she'll probably be fine with it.
Yeah.
So it hasn't come out yet, but yeah. So stuff like that. It's kind of hard to, like, justify being like, oh, you know, here's a random ass track I want to do.
Yeah.
Let me get someone else to do it with me. You want to do this, right? And no, it's kind of hard, but, like, most of the time I'm like, finding that Venn diagram is pretty easy, because a lot of the stuff I really like falls into, like, here's what I can do. Yeah. Like, I'm looking into doing some of the One Piece openings pretty soon. Yeah. So stuff like that. Like, a select few of the One Piece openings, some of the Naruto openings, some of the old Bleach openings. Yeah. Stuff like that.
Are you gonna do We Are?
No.
Are you gonna do Hikari A? Mm-mm. Fuck, those are my two favorites.
Like, I'm gonna do. See, I, like, picked out random. Like, one. I want to do Dreamin' On. Yeah. Of course. I want to do Hard Knock Days. Yeah. And I want to do Hope. Yeah. From One Piece. Those are the three and I want to do Paint at some point too. Yeah. Paint is really good. But stuff like that, like, just pick out random, like, sort of stuff like that I think would work and I really like. Yeah. But yeah, finding that Venn diagram, it can be tricky at times because, like, that's the thing, like, a lot of the stuff I've done has to kind of fall. Like, sometimes that comes close to the edge. Yeah. Like, my most recent upload was a Spy Family opening. Yeah. That I really liked. And I was like, this isn't quite this right audience that I normally go for, considering a lot of my audience is like My Hero Academia, Fairy Tail, Black Clover, that kind of thing. Yeah. Yeah. So, but it was like, I want to try this. It'll be fun. And it was by Bump of Chicken. Yeah. Who did Acacia. Yeah. And I was like, this is long-term storytelling. Yeah. But yeah, it's sometimes I do feel boxed in, but a lot of times that doesn't last very long, and I'm like, I have enough things I want to do where I can make it work.
I would even say there was, like, a brief moment of time you might have been, like, boxed into Pokemon stuff. Yes. Because, like, there was just a lot of Pokemon early on, and even now, the rare time you upload a Pokemon. The rare time you upload a Pokemon song, it pops off.
Yes. Yeah. Well, part of that, the treasure was a special instance because it was automatically associated with Lumio's trainer or Zaktoshi now. Yeah. With Zaktoshi's videos. Plus, it got marked as made for kids. Yeah. Which I think the algorithm they push that kind of stuff pretty heavily. Yeah. So that song that I posted a couple months ago, like, that of course would pop off. Like, I don't understand what the made for kids shit, but yeah, it's like, I think they push it kind of hard.
Should we label this podcast as made for kids and see what happens?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Well, because I know that with made for because a bunch of Cam Steady stuff got marked as made for kids, all his Pokemon ciphers and stuff. And what it does is it halts the algorithm pushing it out to anyone that's not a kid. And it makes so that all comments are not able to be like, you can't leave comments, you can't see comments, and it disables a lot of features because it like pushes it to the 4Kids app rather than like main YouTube. And so 4Kids stuff typically won't get recommended to anyone over the age of 18. And so that's why, like, it's a big deal when a song is.
I was annoyed by it. I was like, because I got a lot of really nice comments from people, and I was like, I hate this.
Well, I think you can appeal it, and you can keep appealing it till they eventually remove it.
Well, and I mean, at the same time, I haven't looked at my analytics much, but I'm sure that predominantly the people under 18 are the ones looking at the Pokemon shit.
But I know for me, like, with the whole boxed in thing, like, it's so Nerdcore, as you said before, Trent, Nerdcore is like a little hit or miss sometimes. There's like a lot of stuff that happens in Nerdcore.
There's always something happening in nerdcore. Like the very few instances I've like tuned in and like peered my head around the curtain, like what's going on? It's like that's cool. Oh, that's a bit fucking weird. Oh, let's go back around the curtain.
Oh, look, a pedophile.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh, another one. Oh no.
Oh no.
Yeah. Not good.
Nerdcore, I'm in a bit of an odd position in Nerdcore because the majority of my fans are also artists.
Right.
Like a lot of the people... Or
at least the ones you probably hear from the most.
A lot of the people that interact with my stuff are just fellow artists. Mm-hmm. And the problem with that is that, like, it is, as soon as you're associated with those artists, like, it is hard to escape
break
that.
Away.
Yeah, it's hard to make that distinction from a fan to another nerdcore artist. Like like I get maybe like 3 comments on a video that are like fans, like genuine fans of my stuff.
Right.
And then I get 25 that are other artists being like, hell yeah,
hey,
this
cool.
is great. Check out my song as well. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Like
that frustrates me to no end.
Yeah. It's sort of one of those things where nerdcore values, we were talking about the quality of music in the car.
Yeah, a little bit.
But nerdcore really, really values like networking over anything else. Like there is artists which will spend like 5 hours in Discord, just in Discord servers, jumping in calls with other people to make that connection. And then like those are the people that have the ability to work with other artists. Like I know artists, I won't name any specific artists. But
just to be safe.
Yeah. There's artists who work with other artists just because they've like hung around so much that they've ended up like brute forcing that friendly connection. Like
if I do this, will you go away?
Yeah, kind of thing. And it's a very egotistical community as well. Like as a general rule, like egos are fucking sky high in nerdcore. There's hundreds and hundreds of people which think their shit smells better than other people. Like,
right.
Would you also kind of say like the community can also feel like a bit of an echo chamber? Like a lot of them are very, like I definitely see a lot of that when it comes to nerdcore stuff.
Yeah, it's like I'm grateful for nerdcore because it's a community that like I have, like I was a pretty small artist until I kind of joined nerdcore. Mm-hmm. Like I remember I started in nerdcore at about 300 subs.
Okay.
And in the last few years, it's gone up to nearly 2,000.
Right.
And my monthly Spotifys have gone up quite a lot as well. But at the same time, it's like I find it hard in nerdcore because the majority of the community is small artists trying to get their name out there. And
by any means necessary.
And so you're competing with people like you because if a big artist makes a song about a particular topic and that pops off, you will see hundreds of other artists that release songs about the same topic.
Same character.
The same character and everything. Whatever. And if you don't do that, you won't get views and you won't grow. And it's like
that's the mindset at least.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, it's also like practically because nerdcore fans, the fans of these big artists will go, oh, that was sick. I wonder who else has made songs about this thing.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
And it's like, so a lot of it is just like repeating, like it's like it trickles down the chain. Like a big artist will make a song about a topic and then smaller
and then fans might go down the rabbit hole.
Yeah. Well, it's like I wanted to make a song about... Sorry?
Everyone get your Deku character songs loaded up.
Yeah.
It's time.
It's literally like Vigilante Deku came out in the season, and then there was like fucking 40 Vigilante Deku songs within the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, especially once Divide did his.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It was the same thing when Divide did his Avatar The Last Airbender song, when he did his first one. No Way Out. Yeah, Zuko.
God.
Yeah.
You're so fucking right. I noticed that.
And then there was suddenly like hundreds of Avatar songs from all the other artists.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, the part of the reason why I've been trying to branch out is because it feels like if I don't do the same thing as everyone else, like nothing happens. Like
right.
I'll make an original song about an anime, like a slightly more obscure anime, and it bombs. But I do like Jujutsu Kaisen. Like I did a
How did that go? Did it?
Well, Falling didn't perform very well,
Mhm.
and I think that's because I chose to have a female artist feature on a song that is primarily about
the
a male
mental
character.
connection.
Yeah,
kind of struggled. I guess I see
I
that.
had comments being like, the stuff with Gojo, young Gojo and Ghetto was set in like the 90s, like early 2000s, like, and this song is more like a 2010s electro song, like it doesn't fit the vibe, and I'm like, it's not the point. Like,
Also, I don't think that's even true. Because Jujutsu Kaisen takes place in 2018.
Yeah.
The flashback's from like 10 years ago.
yeah, so like, and
That's such a weird fucking thing to complain
yeah,
about.
and
Like,
then
it's
I had someone message me that was like, I like the song, but it completely disconnected me from the character because you had a female artist feature on a song about two guys. And I was like, that's a problem in nerdcore, is that a lot of the female artists will only get asked to be on songs that are about female characters. And like they get typecast into a particular role.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to be like, no, fuck that. Like,
Right.
I want to make
Absolutely.
a fucking banger with a female artist that I'm friends with because she's a great artist.
She's a great singer. Yeah.
She's a great singer. And it bombed compared to my Toji song, which came out like a month earlier.
Okay.
Like I don't think my Falling has hit 1,000 views even on YouTube yet. Whereas Better, the Toji rap, hit 3K within like 2 days.
Damn.
And it's just because like that is the particular, like I started out as a nerdcore rapper, and the algorithm still will push my nerdcore rap stuff way more than any of my singing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like Delicious was about 3K. Like most of my songs perform better if they're a rap.
Right.
And that's something that annoys me because I like to be able to do both.
Yes.
I
I agree.
But like
you've got the talent, you got the talents for all of it. Like that is something like that. I don't know. It is mostly community, like single mind, hive mind community sort of fucking thing. Like typecasting female singers like that.
yeah, and
It's so fucking weird to see.
I don't know.
Like, especially how like people like this is one thing I've always struggled to get, like people that are overly attached to a fandom or something like that, where they will complain about like your song for having a female artist because it's about two male characters. It's just like, how about you just enjoy the song? Why does that matter?
Yeah.
Just enjoy the song.
Yeah.
I think it's important that
So
people
weird.
like. Well, I mean, maybe I think it's important, but a lot of people clearly don't. But like when you write a song, it should be able to stand on its own without the need to be
Yeah.
associated with the series that is part of the IP that it's inspired by. Absolutely.
Yeah,
That should be a thing.
That's exactly what I do. Like I make original music, but then I link it to a character in some way, whether or not it's change a couple of lyrics to match a character or write about the general themes of that situation. Like Falling, young Gojo and Ghetto, like they were friends, and the whole thing is like it's the lyrics are like Let's break the dawn and watch on until the morning when everything has fallen. No, I'll be by your side. It's like it's kind of like looking back on the events that happened.
Right.
Like it's not. That's what people were like. I don't understand how this is about Gojo and Ghetto, and I'm like, it's more about the theme of like friends separating and like a one final like spending time together kind of thing. Like, can't we go
In front
back?
of the KFC.
Yeah. And that's the thing, like, but as what I was going to say before, that in Nerdcore, like, I get tons of people, I think I told you this as well, I get tons of people that will tell me, your singing is better than rapping, don't rap. Or, oh, they think that my rap is better than my singing, so they don't think I should sing anymore. And it's like
so stupid.
And there's so many people that are like, oh, this would be better if you'd sung more on it instead of doing like a rap verse. And I'm like, but I wanted to do a rap verse. And they're like, you would be 10 times bigger if you only stuck to this one
Meanwhile,
thing.
they have like 400 subscribers.
Yeah, like, and that's the thing. Like, and that's the problem with being surrounded by other artists is all the artists think they know better than you.
Yeah, they
Like-
think they know your music. Like,
Yeah.
this is what'll make you bigger.
Yeah, and they're like, this is what I think you should do.
It's not your fucking song.
Yeah. But then like because a lot of my fans are nerdcore artists, if I ignore what they say and do my own thing, the song they won't listen to the song because they're like, oh, you didn't listen to what I said, so like I'm not gonna watch it. Like, I have had like close friends of mine in nerdcore be like, oh no, I didn't check out the song because it was a rap. And I'm like, but
That's fucked.
like and that's
so stupid.
that is the entire vibe around nerdcore, which is partly why like there's a
people
part of
are
me,
like always out for their own game.
yeah, and there's a part of me that was like, I wish I never joined the community in that way because it meant that I was like yeah, I have to move with the crowd, like I have to move with the flock rather than
Right.
like do my own thing because it just will not perform.
Mm-hmm.
And
you grew through like not exactly conforming, but you managed to garner an audience through joining this community, and now it's like you won't see more success unless you continue to conform.
yeah,
And that's never a good thing. It's never a good thing to feel like you have to do something in order to stay successful.
yeah,
And like a lot of it's a creative medium. You should be just free to do what you feel like.
and
Like,
that was
so-
the thing with like with high potential when I started streaming and everything like that. Like I wanted to do that because I like that kind of content, and I wanted to make that kind of content myself. Because high potential, I made a YouTube video which you were there for.
Yes,
the finale.
I was. I was there for a little bit of it too, a
Yeah.
little bit earlier too. But yeah, like when you were fighting Cynthia,
Yeah.
that was an endeavor.
And I fucking loved doing that. But I ran a poll on Twitter, which was like, would this like to people who like that kind of thing, like, would you watch this?
Yeah.
And basically it was like 96% of people said, no, I won't watch it because
Right.
it's not nerdcore music. Like,
Yeah.
And then there was like a very small percentage of people that were like, yeah, I'd watch it because I like you, like you as a person, I like your sense of humor and everything. But the majority of people just had zero interest in it because I'm not doing the same kind of songs as everyone else.
That video was the second interaction we ever had. Is because I watched the first 6 minutes of Used Me Will Only Run video because I love those sorts of videos as well.
Yeah.
That's a great. You did a great job on that video, by the way. Like you act like legitimately
It's funny.
well put together.
Like it's funny, it's good.
And like I want to do more stuff like that, but then there's that, like, every time I try and talk to people in like my friends in the community, they're like, you're better off just putting the time into, like, they'll say something along the lines of, the reason you're not bigger is because you have been doing other things instead of putting all your time into music. And I'm like, but I don't want to.
Yeah.
Like,
I do this shit.
yeah.
Come on, like you can make some time for
Yeah, and that's probably what I will end up doing. Like, I think and I think over time,
like even if you don't put like all those hours into making like the edited down version, you can still like do the streams.
Well, it was something I was going to mention earlier with because you were talking about you want to interview like more Australian creators and stuff. There's this guy that I became friends with through Twitter called Pokeboy. He makes like YouTube videos
I
and
remember
stuff.
him.
Yeah.
He saw our Shield Hero stuff.
Yeah, he reacted
That's right.
to it on stream. And he is like, he's an awesome dude. He went from 800 subscribers to 7,000 subscribers on
Wow.
YouTube, literally just going live every day and playing Pokemon. Like, and
That's hype.
yeah, and
Damn.
he has like put in the time and effort and shit like that
Mhm.
to just do what he wants and whatever the fuck he wants
And
to
it paid
do,
off.
and it paid off.
Right.
And so
There's definitely a Twitch market for that as well, because I think it's easier to like search by category on Twitch.
yeah, well, I think because in that regard, like the game playthroughs and stuff like that, as a general rule of thumb, like big edited videos tend to draw the most people in,
Right.
and then that leads to people subscribing on like Twitch and stuff like that, and then that's what then feeds back into the big, like it's like a kind of a cycle. But it's the whole reason for bringing that up is like I could get there by doing what I want, but it's the fact that I'm surrounded by so many people that are like telling me what I should do.
Yeah.
And that gets in my head. Like,
well, yeah, I think when you have that many people around you, it like trying to tell you this and that, it probably does. It would psych you out.
Yeah,
for sure.
And like, I'm kind of glad this is going up after NPC,
right?
Because part of going to NPC is like interacting with these people in person will give me a more clear picture of like how I vibe with them on a personal level.
Yeah.
And
I definitely know people who are different on Discord and shit versus in real life.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people can really get it, like feel like they're on top of the world when it's over the internet.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the second they see you in person, you're like 6'4". Like, oh shit.
And so
like, God damn.
Yeah. And so I'm kind of using this as like this is gonna gauge whether or not I stay in the community long term.
Yeah.
Because like the vibe I get from these people, and a lot of my, like, they're all my friends and everything like that. Like, and I'm still probably going to be friends with them, but like seeing that in person, I feel like is going to make a difference mentally to how I like feel about the community.
Yeah, totally.
And that's also partly why I wanted to come to America and go to NPC, is because like going to a concert where these artists that I like are performing is going to be it's either going to be, oh, this is fucking awesome, like I want to be up there on stage,
right? Or
it's going to be like, I don't really feel this, like, and I can approach it differently.
Yeah. Definitely. That's kind of like, I've always, I do see like a lot of things that happen in Nerdcore, and you keep me pretty updated a lot of the time, because I feel like sometimes you do come to me to vent a little bit, which is totally fine. I'm all about it, but it's like I for all those reasons, like every time I hear about the Nerdcore community, I'm just like, I'm so glad I don't have to deal with these people. Like it just seems like such a toxic thing, because like the reason anyone who's not like technically a professional should be creating at all is because they like it. Yeah. And that should be the very base reason that you do anything creatively. So like when the whole mindset becomes, oh, I need to improve the quality of my, like the sound quality, I need better gear, or I need this person to know that I hate their shit, or I need, my shit's better. Like, it's like, it's such a bad environment to be in, because like, if anything, you should just be like, as an artist and as a creative, like goal number one should be improving yourself. Yeah. Not like getting closer to like what you want to create, to like your ultimate goal. Like, this is what I want to be able to create ultimately. Yeah. Like just, improving yourself as kind of steadily, progressively, just getting better, improving what you can. Yeah. Like without like, I know we were talking about in the car, like, all these people, like a bunch of Nerdcore guys need to like buy $3,000 microphones, or like they want this like $500 USB interface, audio interface. I'm like, just make better music. Like, that's it. like it's really not rocket science. Yeah. Like, just improve your singing, improve the quality of the like your mixing or whatever. Yeah. Like, just find something to make your songs like performance from the very base level. Improve them. Not your fucking gear.
That's the thing, like, no, that's exactly it. But, like, music, even though it is such a subjective thing, it's just one of those things that you're not going to perfect straight away, especially if you're small to begin with. Like, if you didn't have the college degree and all that, and didn't have a wealthy family, it's like what you experience. Like, starting off, guys, it's trial and error.
Yes,
you
have to start off shit,
and then after a while, you get good.
Well, that's it's like same kind of thing that happened to me.
Yeah, like, absolutely. You have to have a shit phase. You really do. Like, it's a necessary thing. So, like, that's the thing, right? Like, you should be like, as an artist, just like knowing what you can improve and working to improve it. Like not, and I'm not talking about like the physical gear, right?
Yeah.
Like that's not like I made music on a $80 interface. I still use the bitch. It's right there. Like I made on an $80 interface and a $100 microphone for the longest time.
Yeah.
And I used $200 guitar.
Yeah.
Like that was all I had. And for the longest time, that was how I made music. And for the most part, I still use like all of my guitars I bought used.
Yeah.
Like it's like just you can make what you like on like a minimal amount of budget. You don't need all of the crazy expensive things. Like you just have to like be as a performer, right? Because we are performers. Like we have to like know what it is that we can improve on, whether it's like vocal tone, vocal pronunciation, like how, you know, where we're singing in our, like keeping our voice healthy, that kind of thing. Or like even when it comes to instrumental performance. Like, for the longest time, my lead playing sounded like shit because I would like pluck too hard or like I couldn't match up the timing to my fingers. Yeah. So it's like practicing that kind of thing. Yeah. Is what I think people should be like working on more. Yeah. Like, or even like when it comes to like composition, like making a more catchy chorus or like, you know, there are things making your lyrics, you know, feel like smoother to sing, like nicer, like fit into the instrumental better. Like there are things you can do on a like a creative level that don't require you to buy an $800 audio interface. Like it's just that mindset I just don't like. Yeah, well, I have you've probably seen him on Twitter. I've got a friend called Lucky. It's like LVCKII. He's one of my best friends, like an amazing dude. And he records all of his music on his iPhone using iPhone headphones. Like that's incredible. But his vocal tone and his writing is fucking unbelievable. Right. Like he made a Derby song that got like 25,000 views or something on a fucking iPhone headset. Like like the plug-in Apple headphones, and he would hold it to his face and record. That's like, amazing. And like, but the Nerdcore's like approach to his music is, your quality is arse. Like you need to get and that's so like bad. And that's the whole thing. And every time he would upload a song, he would get comments being like, your quality is arse, your quality is arse, you need to upgrade your mic, you need to upgrade your system. Like every single song he released. And it got to a point where he was just kind of like, I don't really want to do this anymore. Which sucks because like he has a fucking amazing talent, this guy. And again, his vocal tone, like he was the guy that was featured on Ignite. Oh, on Ignite. Right. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And it was great. Yeah, and he recorded his verse on that with an iPhone headphones. Like you don't need.
I couldn't tell. Yeah. I couldn't tell. It was good.
Well, a big part of that is because I have gotten a lot better at mixing that. Like, right. That's definitely a learning process. Yeah, for sure. And so, but in saying that as well, like it's what you were saying. Like Nerdcore is so obsessed with quality. Like DPS, Daddy Fat Snaps. He, I think, recently bought like a $20,000 microphone because it had the chance of being a better quality sound. And then it wasn't. So he ended up just like getting rid of it. And that's like he's got the money to do that. Like that's not. Yeah, it's good for him. Good for him. If he wants to do that, that's fine. But it led to a bunch of people in Nerdcore being like, upgrade mic time. Like as soon as he posted that he was doing that, like there was a flood of like 20 or 30 artists who put in like $1,000 to buy new mics, but they're still not writing great music. Right. Like. And that's like that's the thing. Like sometimes I'll see you share, like I don't know if it's by by obligation or whatever. But a lot of it is. Yeah, I feel like a lot of times it is. But like sometimes I'll listen to those songs that you like share on Twitter or whatever. I'm like, this is not all that good. Like it's primarily because like that's my friend and I've like I want to help support them. But it is
in saying that you retweeted Nina Hope's Heartless, the song. Yeah. I listened to it. It's awesome.
Nina Hope's good.
And I now follow her as of like 2 days ago because of that. That was sick.
Well, we're actually going to meet Nina Hope
Oh, we are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
She's
Oh,
I'm
wonderful.
pretty sure she's staying in the same Airbnb as Jonald, and we're
Okay.
meeting Jonald as well. So
Yes. Absolutely.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
That's the weird thing about like all these communities that are based around the shit. Like, so many of them have like I've got my own experience like with some of these communities. Like, so many of them are just like in the end just a bunch of very similar minded people that are just letting their toxic trait come out, like letting their toxic side come out because it's about something they're obsessed with.
Yeah.
Like, I see the nerdcore community, and then like I've heard stories from Gus and a few others about the Aniput community and stuff like that, and then like my own personal experience with the internet wrestling community, the IWC. Like, those fucking like all these communities are just like, they're fucking weird, man, and they're just not healthy. It's such a weird cesspool of fuckers just talking shit the whole time. It's so weird. It's not good,
and that
it's not
that's
good. Like,
that's why I like have been like sometimes intentionally, sometimes unintentionally, like distancing myself from those communities, because it's
As you should.
yeah because I feel like sometimes I'll make better music not in the nerdcore community, because I won't have
people trying to get in your head about all that bullshit.
And the thing is like, even some people I call my friends are the ones that are like, which is why like I like my friendship with you, because you have literally never judged me for anything that I've ever said to you.
No,
like,
and I wouldn't.
Yeah,
you could actually like, okay, well maybe there's
yeah,
a line.
no.
There's a line somewhere. Like, if you committed murder, then we'd be like, all right, you know, maybe you're like not so good, but like up to that point,
Hypotoria, where were you when Donald Trump was shot? Where were you, sir? I need to know.
Well, the fact that
if you shot at Donald Trump and missed, I would have been like, you know what, you get a pass. You get a pass. All right, you didn't kill him. It's fine. No, there's a line, but like, especially like for me, I don't care. Like, you could do whatever you want. Like, it's just, I don't think people should have to like hold back who they are. Like, you know, don't fucking like try to pretend to fit in. Like, I had that problem for the longest time as a kid. Like, I would always, when I was really young, especially, like, I would try so hard to like fit in with certain groups, and like, it's just not, I'm at a point now, you know, I just turned 25. I'm like, I can't be lying to people. Like, I can't fucking try to tell people I'm someone I'm not. Like, it's just, I'm this weird motherfucker who like sings sometimes. Like, that's it. You know, it's fine. Like, that is who I am, and it's not something I should be trying to like necessarily hold back from people. Like, you shouldn't try to be someone you're not, stupid. But it's
that is literally like the past couple, like 3 or 4 years, like after COVID, like that was definitely something I finally just like conformed myself with, of just like, I need like, stop putting on faces around different people. Just be yourself. Like, the only time where I'm a little bit different and a little bit more subdued is literally at work, just because I work with other fuckers that like do not have the same interests, and I'm like, you don't want to hear me talk about this anime.
Well, exactly. Like, that's the same thing. Like, I watch and read so much anime and manga, and I keep it, a lot of it like stays in my own brain. So, because I'm like, no one cares. Like, it's fine.
But just as Phil literally said, like, that's why I was so fucking like happy. Like, when I got to America, the first thing I did was flip you off, and like, we just don't give a fuck. Like, it's just like, we don't give a fuck, and I'm like, it's sick. Like, having those types of friends where it's just like, yep, fuck
say whatever you want.
That's it.
Like, I do not care. It's like, you shouldn't be like, especially on a creative endeavor, like, because sometimes you have asked me for feedback on stuff, and I try to keep it so that it's like, you know, I don't want to be like, because I mean, I don't know, like, I don't know what's best for like your music personally. It's a lot of the stuff you do is kind of outside what I do normally as well. So it's like, I don't want to be that guy who's like, oh, you should have done like this verse different. Like, I don't know that, and like, I like. So I'll try to keep it to more objective things.
Well, I like getting opinions from you on my music because you're not in the community.
Yes.
And like, anytime I ask someone in the community what I need to improve, the thing that they always say, and it drives me fucking insane, is the mix needs work. And I'm like, how the fuck do I make it work?
Yeah.
Like what?
And then you go to their music and it's just like they're clipping the mic.
Jesus Christ.
There goes my audacity.
Yeah. But
Just like
it's like I have had a problem for years because growing up, I've said that I didn't have a great childhood.
Yeah.
I was picked on a lot in school, and I developed like really strong like people pleasing habits.
Right.
And even now, like I have stuck at EB Games for like 2 years longer than I've wanted to, just because I didn't want to let them down or and it's something I'm finally like after
starting to like.
I turned 30 this year. Like it's something that I am as I'm turning 30, finally coming to terms with, and that's partly why I'm like I just don't give a fuck. Like all the shit that happens in nerdcore and like
oh yeah. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
It's so not worth it.
And like I don't want.
Oh yeah, happy birthday for the other day, guys.
thank
by the
you.
way.
Yeah.
I think I forgot for like the first 2 hours of the day. I was just chilling in
Yeah,
here with you, and I was like, "Oh
sometimes
shit,
I was
happy
like,
birthday!"
yeah, it's like I don't care. Like it's one of those things. I'm like,
Well, that was
so I was born today. Whatever.
that was the day that we were
cares?
up at like 2 a.m.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
But I don't have the time and energy to like excuse my language,
give a
like
fuck.
suck off another artist's personality like over the internet to try and like
Excuse yourself. You can say much worse than that.
I just like I feel
Dude, have you?
but yeah,
I
like
talk about sucking
you've
dicks
been
all the
hearing us.
time.
You've been hearing us speak.
Yeah.
I know,
Like,
just saying stuff like that, I'm
fuck.
like
I talk about sucking dicks all the time. I'm not even gay.
yeah, like it's all just like that. A lot of people in nerdcore will like suck off the ego of other artists in order to make that
What a
connection.
waste.
Like they will spend hours turning a parasocial relationship into a semi-social relationship in order for the chance to be potentially
Just hearing you say
featured.
parasocial, I'm like, oh.
Yeah, like potentially featured on one of their songs. Like, and I'm not a huge artist in the nerdcore community, and I get messages 5 to 10 times a day of people being like, I want you on my song, but I don't want to pay you. Or like I want you on my song, and they've got like 50 subscribers recording through their laptop's like inbuilt mic.
Yep.
And I'm like, I'm sorry, but I like
Yeah, I see. That's one thing, right? Like, I think asking you to write, like to make your own verse for their,
Yeah.
that is too much. But I've worked with a producer a couple times.
Yeah.
Who has written the vocals for me.
yeah.
And has been like, here's what I want you to sing, now sing it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right.
Yeah,
fuck it.
like it's easy if it's there.
Yeah.
It's when you're having to like create the whole thing
Yes,
from
when
scratch
you have to create it
yourself.
from scratch, that you should absolutely be being paid for.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
that is too much.
Like Kaze's Fireworks song that I was on.
That's right. Yeah.
He like we don't charge each other, but anytime one of us is featured on each other's songs, we do splits.
Yes.
So like it's the same thing with About to Bounce. Like so Eclipse was
Banger.
the artist that was featured on
Banger.
that. I fucking love that
That's
song.
a great song.
Eclipse was the artist that was featured on that, and at the time, like I forgot to do splits.
I still sometimes think about his
Yeah.
verse. Like when he rattles off all the names of the Straw
Yes.
Hats. Fucking rules.
But I forgot to put splits on. Like we originally agreed on like 50%, and
Yeah.
I'd forgotten to put splits on. And that song, I think when I get back, that's the first thing I'm doing is like paying him for that.
Right.
Because that's like $350 I owe him for that song.
Really?
Yeah, because
Wow.
that song I think is at nearly 200,000 plays on YouTube Music for some reason. YouTube Music popped off, and I don't like.
Wow.
But I would. That's what I meant by like I would rather work with a friend and do some sort of splits.
Oh, absolutely.
Than like be like to a friend of mine, be like, you have to pay me $200. Like I'm
Yeah.
who the fuck would?
Dude, come on.
And that's the thing. Like it's. But then there's these artists that I have absolutely no interest in working with, who are literally only trying to get me on a song because it means that I'm on their song and like my name will bring them views.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do that for other artists as well, which is why when like, so Zach B, like I told you that I'm commissioning him for a verse. Like I'm paying him $200 for that verse, but that's because I want to work with him.
Yes.
Not because I want to use his name. Like, I feel like
you're genuinely a fan.
I'm genuinely a fan. It's $200. Like, I'm willing to pay that for a chance to work with someone I respect as an artist. But that doesn't mean that I'm just doing it because that person has 300,000 subscribers, and that means that their 300,000 subscribers might subscribe to me. That's not my plan, but that is a huge part of Nerdcore, is like, this artist has 1,500 subscribers, and even if like 500 of those people like my music, that's 500 extra subscribers for me. And that is the mindset that I fucking despise.
It's so toxic. Like, it's just, I hate when people are just out for their own gain and nothing, because it's so easy to tell. It's so easy to tell when they are.
That's just it. Like 4 years ago, Gus, you could have asked Divide to feature on a song with no plans just for the name recognition.
Yeah, I could have done that.
Like you
but
you're just like, nah, I don't have anywhere to put him.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, that's the thing, right? When I do collabs, like, I always reach out with a plan in mind. Like, I create the plan first. I scour out like who I want to work with, and then I pretty much reach out cold turkey. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna like fucking shoot a message to their Twitter DMs or something like that, or their email sometimes. Like, it's like, I think for pretty much everyone I've worked with, I think you followed me first before I reached out to you.
Yeah.
I think so. But like, I saw you had followed me, and I was like, I need a rapper for this song. Oh my God.
Well, I feel like at that point, I don't think I would have done many raps. Like, I did the Megalovania one.
Okay.
And then Libera Me from Hell on Spotify.
Right, yeah.
And then I think maybe the Mob Psycho 100 song that I did. And maybe a couple of, I don't know, it was really early on into my, like, quote-unquote nerdcore career.
I think it was before, like, you were in the nerdcore full stop.
But I was like, fuck yeah. It's so there's another guy, I forget what his name is at the moment, but he was another Asian VA is what his name was.
Oh, okay.
He is someone who I met in like 2013, back when YouTube had DMs, like when YouTube still had DMs. Like, I messaged him and was like, I like your stuff. We're both small asses. Do you want to work together? And still to this day, we are like, if he's like, hey, I need like backing vocals for this song, like, I'm like, okay, yeah, sure, man. Like,
yeah, whatever.
And it's again, it's the same kind of thing with our friendship, is like, it's that, like, oh yeah, I'll help out, like, whatever.
Yeah,
like,
whatever.
Like,
absolutely.
But when I like,
and it helps as well that most of, like, I want to say all of the songs you two have worked on together are slap.
Oh yeah,
like, I've listened to all of them. Like, I like all of them. So
our synergy on songs, I think, is fucking awesome.
So good. I love the back and forth between my singing and your rapping.
Yeah.
So good. It's so good.
And yeah, it's just one of those things that, like, it's so much fun working with you, and I cannot say the same for a lot of nerdcore.
Yeah. Well, and that's, I think one thing you told me, like, while you've been here is like, and it never really clicked to me, but when you said it, I realized it. I've never like had any certain expectations for you out of a performance.
Yeah.
Right? I've been like, here are the lyrics. Here's the kind of thing I'm going for. Have fun.
Yeah.
And that's another thing, right? Because I usually, well, sometimes you've changed the lyrics. Like, I think for Rise, you changed the lyrics.
it was literally just because there was one section that didn't.
You didn't like it. I didn't like it either.
Yeah. I was like, I did it, and I was like, that sound like, it does not sound good.
Yes,
like,
as it is. Yeah, because that was back when like they were doing like really sloppy English.
Yeah,
yeah, totally. And but yeah, for the most part, I've written the lyrics ahead of time.
Yeah,
and then I've been like, I'll do like a rough.
The way that when you send me stuff, I fucking love it, because it's like you've got a performance, like a little performance, like video or song of like how it's.
Oh my god! Yeah.
And then you've got like color coded lyrics of exactly what you want me, and I'm like.
Oh, yes.
This is amazing.
Because it's so much easier. I've moved to like, especially early on, I would just record something with my phone.
Yeah, I just remember you sitting in your car, like rapping along to the bit, like with a video, and I was like, I was still like, this is great. Like, I've got a frame of reference.
The problem is like, it's sometimes hard to do to one take.
Yeah.
So I've kind of transitioned to doing like actual audio files. Yeah. Because it's easier to listen back to also.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's that's the thing. Like, especially like stuff like when we did It's Going Down Now very recently.
Yeah.
And I sent you like, you know, I didn't do a reference for the most part because I was like the lyrics are the same as they
Yeah.
are, but it's like there were a couple like even like, I think in the second verse there was like a rhythmic element you changed that I actually really like. It was like the right before the singing bit is like about to knock him out cold, and that's different from the original.
Yeah,
and I was like, that rules.
Yeah,
I really like that
because in the original it was almost like because the beat is in 4/4 and he was almost saying that bit in like 3/4.
Yeah, he was a
and
little.
It was like a weird. It was
very
a weird like
rhythm.
stagger.
Yeah, it was. Weird
and I was
rhythm.
like with the guitar and everything, the boo 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 boo.
Yeah.
Like, that it.
Yeah.
It and the singing bit and that is one of my favorite like
whole lot of moves I'm making on you like dance floor and door and it's beat down. You probably wish that you could fast forward. You have no idea how many times I just sung that. Whenever it came up when we were playing the game, you have no idea. Like whenever it came up, I would just be like, whole lot of
even
moves
when
I'm
the
making on you
song,
like.
even when the song wasn't playing in the car or like we weren't playing the game, he would randomly just start singing it.
Whole lot of moves
And I'm
I'm
like,
making on you
yeah,
like.
it's a good song.
Well, I think even in that bit, like, I felt awkward doing the moving on you like dance floor.
Yeah,
so I did.
You added that.
I was like moving on you like a dance floor.
door and it's beat down. You probably wish that you could fast forward.
Hey,
Hey!
like-
Yeah. But yeah, I like all the stuff we've done. I think it's been mostly covers with like an occasional something or other here and there.
Because I think on my channel, I think the only song that I'd gotten you on that wasn't the cipher.
That wasn't.
Was the Mystery Dungeon.
The Mystery
one.
Dungeon
I don't
one,
think we've worked together more than that on my channel, which is criminal, by the way.
It is criminal. That needs to change.
That does need to change.
But yeah, I think it was like Down by Law. We did Rock City Boy.
Yeah.
4 Shield Hero openings.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah,
That's
crazy.
a lot. It's going down, and then I feel like there's something I'm missing.
There probably is.
I can't think of anything though. But yeah,
I can look on
That's
Spotify
what I was,
right
that's
now.
what I was bringing up my phone to do.
There's been a lot of covers.
Well, you've done the Diamond and Pearl.
DP
bit.
rap.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, that's hard.
DP rap.
Yeah. Yeah, that did go hard. Faith, Down by Law,
Bring
the
Back
Rock City
is still
Boy,
like-
Bring Back is actually crazy hard.
Yeah.
Rise, Sin is going down now, and yeah, the only one on Hypotorias is Don't Ever Forget.
Yeah.
The cipher was really fun though.
Yeah.
I really like doing the cipher.
I remember when you explained to me the whole thing when you did Garchomp, and I was just like, yeah, no, that's fucking
I don't know
sick.
if ever I was on a Persona 5 cipher.
That's right. I know. I remember
Yeah,
hearing it.
yeah.
You were Yusuke, right?
Yeah.
Persona 5
Yeah, I
cipher?
was
So, yeah, it was
what?
like a cipher where there's all my Audacity sessions. There was like a it was like a list with all the Phantom
shit.
Thieves.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I was Yusuke, and I kind of was like, it was like
Lucky you had just gotten up to the second
I had
palace.
just gotten up to the second palace, and he's like, I need someone for your Yusuke verse, and I was like, hell yeah, I'll do it. And that was the
Yo, with Nina Hope and Sally
Yeah.
Love, that's fucking
that was the
hype.
first
That's
song that I had ever done my Australian accent
That's
on.
right.
That was the first rap I'd ever
Yo.
done my Australian accent on, and the comments was just like, do this more. Like,
Yeah.
it was just like
You nailed that.
Yeah.
You, like that was one of the cooler verses.
I was
for sure.
chopping.
Yeah, no, you were.
I'm gonna listen to it at some point. Like when you say rap in the Australian accent, is that kind of leaning towards Oz rap, or is that? Was that a
I
bit
don't think
different?
I
Or
don't
were
think
you
I've
confused?
ever actually done leaning towards more Oz rap, because the way that I rap, because I started rapping with a sort of like American style.
Youngtown.
Yeah, Youngtown and all
Yeah.
of that. Like it's a weird mix of like, it's not your traditional Oz rap. Like all of even better, the Toji rap that I did. That's all Australian, but it doesn't sound like Oz rap. And that's
Okay.
the thing, like there's, even if like an Aussie rapper came into Nerdcore, I think I would still stand out enough because mine isn't a normal
Right.
Australian rap. Like
Yes.
when I think of Oz rap, I think of like Hilltop Hoods and
Yeah.
I forget there's a couple of big ones which always, they're on the radio and shit like
Cursor, not Cursor. Then he's not on the radio.
that.
But yeah,
It's like
I know what you mean.
there's like the Hilltop Hoods, like Cosby Sweater, that song. I don't know if you know that song. But then there's like the underground Aussie rap, which is like the drill, Aussie drill and stuff like that.
Hell yeah.
Oz drill actually goes.
It does go hard,
like, dude. Fucking like hooligan hefts. Fucking oh my dude.
But I've never been one to actually listen to like Australian rap. I literally just started using my accent because it's easier. Like there's a couple of words, I can't remember what they are, but I find them really hard to pronounce in an American accent. And it's like, it's the classic Australian, like it's one of the vowel sounds, like,
okay.
And whenever I try and rap it, I cannot, it's like the one word that sticks out in the Australian accent when I'm rapping in American, which is why I avoid it at all costs. And that's like, that's what, and that's why I think my rapping is different, because it does not sound like other Australian rappers and stuff.
Mm-hmm. It has like sort of a more American basis.
Yeah. I don't know exactly how to explain it, but my rap feels like my own thing. It doesn't feel like I'm not taking inspiration from anyone else.
Any one particular place, right?
Because it is literally like all of the rap that I listen to is American. I just do it with my Australian accent. And that's like, that's the difference. Because Australian rap is its very own specific sounding thing. It's very, I'll show you some at some point. Like it's very particular.
You have to make him listen to like a little bit of Cursor at least. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, I know you're not a big rap guy, Gus.
No, not really,
like,
but
especially nowadays. But yeah, you need to hear some of the shit Oz rap cooks up. Oh my god!
All right, shit.
The closest to Oz rap I've ever been is on the Pseudo Legendary Cipher.
Yeah,
I was like,
you were very Aussie.
Hit him with the Phantom Force, like
hit him with the Phantom Force. Yeah.
That's like the most Aussie I've ever been.
Yeah, that was very Australian. It really was.
But that was one of my lyrically. That was one of my favorite verses. Like
it had the same like the sounds back to back.
Yeah,
it had the same thing as like the one thing I'm really proud of with that Garchomp verse is it has like the same sounds, like the last three syllables. Face your fears, as careers, like that. Yeah.
And I phase in, hit him with a Phantom Force, catching strays, kid, because the rocket's out of course. Like, like that. And that's why I haven't done another cipher, because I was like, I don't know how to top that.
How do I top this?
Yep. It's like, I can't get any better. I've peaked already.
Yeah.
Done.
I'm done. I've peaked.
Low key, I think my Garchomp verse might be the best I would ever do too.
That's actually, I don't.
Dude, that verse fucking killed me, bro. That was so good.
I was hard.
It's something that's really interesting. I wanted to talk about it before, but I completely forgot until now.
Okay.
My first ever song on Hypotoria popped the fuck off. That was my Megalovania rap, and that got like 200,000 views.
Okay.
Very quickly. And
that was a huge, like, Undertale. That probably around that time.
Yeah,
Undertale
and it was
really huge.
It was really hard for me to adjust after that. And I think it might have been, I don't know, because you said you don't look at your analytics a whole lot.
Not really. No.
But did you feel when a.k.a. came out and that blew up, did you ever feel like disappointed with your results after a.k.a.?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Because it was like, I guess I'd had a lot of experience like releasing to not a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I don't like to judge any like one particular song like against others, I guess.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times before I release something, I know about how I kind of have an expectation for how well it's going to perform.
Yeah.
Like if I release a cover of a brand new My Hero Academia opening, I know it's going to perform really well.
Yeah.
And like absurd, like, you know, beyond like the norm, you know, like it's not just a well-performing song that I might release at any point. It's going to perform even higher above that. It's going to be an abnormality.
Yeah.
So it's like, or even like, I don't know, you know, I haven't really gotten far on it because Mecha's still away, but like the new Fairy Tail opening, I have no clue how well that's going to perform. Like I know it's going to perform well, but I don't know if it's going to reach the same heights as like a new My Hero Academia opening.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to tell. But like, for the most part, I have a general expectation of how well something's going to perform before I release it.
Yeah.
So, and sometimes they catch me off guard, but like, it's hard. it's just a bad mindset, I think, for me to be like to try to judge things against each other.
Yeah.
But I totally would understand like if you had something pop off, especially if it's your first video.
Yeah, that was hard. Like I had done stuff on Typhlosion, but that never went anywhere. Like it was kind of middling. And then my first ever rap was like pew, like fucking skyrocketed. Because it was I have people commenting on it now being like, wow, this is so nostalgic. And that is a weird feeling. like something I made in 2016 made like people grew up with that shit. Like, but then the next video I released was like 400 views. And that was like, I think that's probably because I am someone who I can't help but look at the analytics on stuff.
Right.
Like, because like when a video comes out, I will literally like watch the video, close on my phone, like close the video, reopen it and see how many views it has. And I will do that for the first couple of hours. And that is not a good mindset to be in at all. Because
sometimes you kind of can't help it.
Yeah. But like, so the Toji rap at first was like 200 views in the first 2 hours. And I was like, fuck, this is flopped. And then I went to bed, because I normally upload it about midnight, like Western Australian time. Upload it, watch it for an hour, then go to bed. Right. And that's like, and I woke up the next morning, it was like 3,000 views. And I was like, whoa. Like, and that's the thing that Nick keeps telling me is like, don't fucking look at the analytics.
Yeah.
Like,
no, it's just not, to keep track of it so closely. Yeah, it's a bad, it's just not a good habit mentally.
Yeah, because especially with things like YouTube and like where algorithms change all the time, you can't allow that to like be the main driving like factor, because like, whether subconsciously you realize it or not, like that might also come down to like, oh yeah, I got a whole heap of comments and likes and views in like a very short time span, like that dopamine rush. Like, fuck yeah, my hard work has paid off. But it's like you can't allow that to be the judge of like how good your hard work is.
And that's why when I made the Smeargle video, like that only has like 130 views. But I remember when it first came out, I was like, fuck, this is shit. Like, because Hypotoria used to like a few thousand views.
Right.
And this Pokemon video, like I at the time I was like, I'm going to do this video, I'm going to upload it, it's going to perform fucking well. And I'm gonna like blow up
on
from
a brand
there.
new channel.
Like, on a brand new channel. I did some shorts promo, which the shorts, YouTube shorts, like that got like 8,000 views per short, which was pretty good considering it's a brand new channel with no content.
Shorts, I fucking hate shorts, but they pop off so
them too.
effectively.
But then the video, I was so disappointed with the video for a long time, and then I got over myself.
Right.
It's like,
oh, no one's watching this, but it's actually just a good video.
Yeah.
I'm at the point now, like, because I've been making YouTube videos for nearly 10 years, and like one video got like 80k views, and I'm like, why haven't any of the other things I actually give a fuck about gone anywhere near successful? Like, and even this year, I released a video, the life and timeline of Neapolitan, about my favorite character from Ruby. I put a whole heap of effort into it and a whole heap of editing, and it didn't really do that good. And initially, like, there was like a week after I uploaded it where I looked and I'm like, well, that kind of sucks. And then I'm just like, well, all right, life goes on. Like, that's where I'm at. Yeah, I wish it was better. But I'm at the point now with a lot of things in life where it's like, all right, that kind of sucks. Like, it's just one of those things as a creative, like, you gotta try and distance yourself from, because otherwise it'll end up like controlling a large part of your life. But like, you're already making the distance to not be a part of that by not conforming to a community's wishes. So now it's just that next step of like, not incessantly checking your most recent upload an hour after you upload it. Like you're building your way there.
I feel like that. Like I really appreciate you saying that, by the way. Before I like, but I think that's also like the difference between a creative professional and someone who's not. Like because the people that I talk to in Nerdcore that are like tiny artists who absolutely like obsess even more than me over like metrics and views and subscriber counts and stuff like that. Like I feel like that is a big difference. Like when you're at the point where you know you've done good work.
Absolutely.
Like
yeah, that's the most important thing by far. Like being proud of what you've done.
And that's what I'm aiming for. Like I know even like Fable, he did an Angel Dust song that flopped for him. Like it got like maybe 40,000 views, which for a channel of his, which is like 800,000 subscribers, that's not good. But he was like, I honestly don't give a shit. Like it was an amazing song, and I loved the work that I did on it. And like
absolutely,
that's what I want to get to, is like the point where and I think I'm getting closer to that point as time goes on. And I definitely think that like, because me leaving EB Games is the first proper positive decision I've made for myself in like 10 years.
Wow.
So like most of my decisions are based around making sure that other people aren't inconvenienced by what I do.
Yeah. I totally get it, because I'm the oldest of three boys.
Yeah.
So I kind of had to be the guinea pig who was like talking to the family friends, or like trying to like set an example for my little brothers. Like I totally get the people pleasing aspect of it. 'Cause for a long time I had to conform to that as well.
Yeah.
Like, trying to not make a fool of myself. Like even now, like I don't like when my parents bring up to other people like, "Oh, Gus makes anime music." Like, what am I supposed to say? Like, I do. Thanks.
I think we talked about that. Like, when you tell someone what you do and they're like, "Oh,
yeah,
cool,
yeah." I'm like, okay, so then why did you ask?
Yeah,
it's just like, would you rather me say I work at EB Games? Which one do you want to hear?
Well, it's like I had someone who added me on Facebook through EB Games. Like they met me at EB Games. They came in a bunch of times, and like we were on like friendly terms. So they added me. Like, oh, so you make music? Like, what kind? Because I have musician as like my career on my Facebook profile. Because I'm like, oh, I'm a musician. And they're like, what kind of music do you make? And this is what I was telling Gus. Like, I saw the light disappear from their eyes when I started explaining the type of music I make, and they were kind of like, okay, that's cool.
Fucking
so
nerd.
anyway, and
fucking weeb.
Yeah, like, because they're like, what kind of music do you make? Expecting me to be like, oh, I make rock, I make pop, like, I make anime music.
Yeah,
and they're like, oh, okay.
So have you heard of Undertale?
Oh
man,
it is funny though. Like my dad, because the Save the World song that I did, like with Jonald, like popped off. That got over
that's
1 million
right.
views.
Was that Kakashi?
Yeah, the Kakashi.
Yeah.
My dad. It's the only song of mine that my family has ever heard of mine. Like, and my dad still to this day, he's like, I was listening to your like Kadashi song, and I'm like. Thanks, Dad.
Thanks, Dad.
He's like, oh yeah, you did so good. Like your singing has improved a lot from when you were a kid. Like I like your Kadashi song, or like Gakashi, or like
Gakashi.
It's like fucking Inosuke messing up Tanjiro's name. Like Gonpachiro Kamaboko. Like every time he's like Kamaboko Gonpachiro. Yeah. And so, but. Anytime like he tells people the kind of music I make, he's like, he sings. Like,
yeah. Unfortunately, my father goes into way too much detail, and is like, yeah, so he makes English covered of anime and Japanese anime songs.
Yeah.
And every time I see him explain it to someone, they can't follow it at all. And I'm like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
That was the funniest thing. That was the funniest thing, because like when I uploaded a few photos and tagged you on it, because I still got you on Facebook, your dad commented on some of the posts, and I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? And then I saw the last name, I'm like, oh yeah, sweet.
The last name, it's like Simon Petrie last name. He's like, oh, it's my dad.
Yeah, no, and then I saw him make that post about your Acacia song, and it's just like, my son is sort of a musical genius, and I'm like, whoa,
shut up, Dad.
He's popping off. Yeah, like
that's the other thing. I talk to my dad a lot about this stuff. And I think I've told Trent about this, but like my dad he doesn't understand the fact that I am satisfied as a creative by just doing music. He's like, why aren't you on stage promoting yourself at Nerdcore Party Con? What are you doing? Like, why aren't you handing out CDs?
Not performing at Nerdcore?
Yeah, like why aren't you like
Con?
trying to spread your name out? Like why aren't you like doing all of these different things to like tell people you make music? Because I don't fucking care. Like, because every time I see someone put themselves out there like that, I get annoyed.
Yeah.
So why would I want to be the person who annoys me? Like, why would I like that? It's like it baffles me. Like
your dad has a business mindset.
My dad has a very
Yeah.
business oriented mindset about it, and that's why like when he posted like when Acacia first started popping off. Or it was a little after that, but like he put something on his own personal Facebook profile. Like my son's song has 750,000 views, and I'm like, I don't care about the view count, Dad. Like, Dad, I don't care
right now.
Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Do it.
My oldest, Gus Simon Petrie, is sort of a musical genius. Well, I don't really understand the anime genre. He does rock/metal covers of Japanese songs with uplifting, positive messages, and people love them. A recent song has nearly 250,000 views on YouTube. He's making more money from music than his part-time job, so he's quitting and just doing school and music. Pretty cool. Your dad, he loves you, man.
He really does
He
love
loves
me.
you.
He does love me. He's a little out of touch.
That is so wholesome.
It is nice. Like it's I look at it, I'm like, Dad, you should have done that. But I appreciate the sentiment behind it. It's like great.
We should do like a drinking game at NPC tonight of how like we'll tally up how many people promote their own music in person to other people, and then we'll take shots and see who dies first.
See who dies first. It's gonna be me.
I'm pretty sure last year there was a dude who walked around with like QR codes on the front and back of his shirt.
I would want
that
to
had
shoot
links to his Spotify.
I would want to kill him. I would never want to punch someone in the face more.
And
like just go away.
Meeting like Divide Music and being like, hey, I'm this person that you've probably seen online. Be on my music. Like
hello, you were on my podcast 5 years ago.
No, but that's different because you have a pre-existing past with him.
True.
Like, and the only time I've ever spoken to Divide Music was I messaged him and I was like, hey, I've got my All Might song that I'm bringing out. Would you be interested in being on it? And he was so polite about it. He's like, thanks for reaching out. I really appreciate it, but I'm currently like going through some stuff personally. I'm not working on any collaborations at the moment. Like, but he was super nice about it. And
what
then
a
like
guy.
2 hours later, he's like, "Yep, my new collab. Like, I've just organized a collab with this person." I was like, "He's being polite. That's
all right.
That's
all right.
Motherfucker.
It's all right. Like, well, because I had like, the problem with a lot of my friends is that they won't actually tell me if something needs working on. They'll just be like, "Oh, this is a perfect 10 out of 10 song." Like, I remember I posted my All Might song being like, "This is fucking amazing. This is so good." And then because people were gassing me up and like,
Right.
"Yeah, this is like your best work yet," blah blah blah. And I posted it, and like one of the comments, like he's a friend of mine now, but a random other nerdcore artist commented. He's like, "These are all of the things that I think you should work on because it has the basics of being a good song, but these are the things that are not good with it." And I was like, all the time I was like, "Fuck you, this is a good song.
Fuck you."
And then I listened to it back again like recently, and I was like, "Oh no,
He's right.
He was right." Like, because that was my
That's-
first. That was my first fully produced song that just used Shreddage 2, the plugin, for guitar.
Okay.
And there was no bass. There was no like it was drums, guitar, and then like my synth thing
and
that I made.
not even like real guitar.
And it wasn't
plug-in
real guitar. And so he's like it has the structure of like a good like metalcore song. But why does the guitar not have any low end? And why is there no bass? Like it's just drums. Like what do you like as politely as I can be? Why?
Yeah. Look, no offense, man. No, don't take. But why?
Yeah. And I was like, I had just wished that one person would be like, "You know what? This is good, but it could be better."
Right.
And I never uploaded that song to Spotify because I was like, I was like, I gassed this up to everyone, like my best song yet. This is fucking incredible. And then when I saw that comment, I was like, oh no, oh man. But that's people. They don't want you to tell them that their music is bad, so they don't tell you when your music is bad. So they're like, my ego can't handle being told that, like,
right.
But
so then, it becomes like obligation to be like, oh yeah, your song is good.
Yeah, your song is good. Is mine good? Like,
yeah.
Dude.
But yeah.
Yeah. That sucks.
So much of like anything I do, whether it comes to writing or like wrestling or whatever, like whenever anyone actually asks me for their opinion, like for my opinion, I'm like, well, I will be brutally honest, and if you don't like me for it afterwards, too fucking bad.
Okay, you guys can keep talking shit about me. I have to piss so fucking bad.
we need to start wrapping this up. All of our previous guest episodes. Yeah, all of our previous guest episodes have like maxed out like an hour and a half, and we are nearly like we're at 2.5.
I'm so sorry.
We're exceeding it. No, that's completely fine, bro. Like, it's been awesome wanting to fucking chat to you for ages as well. So I mean, may as well get it all out in a giant episode. Why not?
Yeah, but I did not mean to go on the tangent that I did.
No problem. Like, it's always good to learn more about like anything like that. Like, that's one thing that fascinates me the most about people is just like learning their story and what has got them to this point. And like, absolutely, bro. Like, you've done a lot and you've been through a lot and you've gotten to a point where you can now feel like a lot more pride in yourself in making the stuff you want to make.
Yeah.
Like, it's good to be in that position. Like, we're all three of us and a lot of our peers are like only now getting to that point. And like, after years of just being like, nah, I'm overly worried about whoever this fucking person is and their opinion. Yeah. Like, it's good to finally break out of that.
Yeah. So yeah, it's been really good, like, being able to just chat about that. Like, because it's and that's what I was kind of saying. Like, I'm in Nerdcore, I'm surrounded by people who will not be honest about how they feel about things, and that's why I appreciate Gus and I appreciate you as well. Like, kind of talking so candidly. It's good to be able to like get stuff off your chest without worrying about like hurting someone's pride. And that's a big thing.
Like, you got to know, like, hey, if I'm gonna be this open, I got to be more than willing to like accept the same criticism, because like, exactly, if you can't accept the criticism, then you're just not gonna get it and you're not gonna improve.
For sure.
It's just the way of life. Like, I've casually mentioned to Gus during a podcast recording, like, hey, I loved this song, but this one
holy shit.
Like, I have casually mentioned to Gus during like a video game recording or whatever, like, oh, hey, I really like this song. This one note was a bit fucking weird, but I really like the rest of the song. That was a fucking banger. Or like the instrumental, the drums are a bit fucking quiet, but that's all right. The song's pretty
Which
sick.
songs were those?
Like, I don't. Well, it was fucking back years ago. I remember fucking telling you something back during like Skyward Sword or something. I remember talking to you about some of your music, like, and then like there was that phase where I just didn't listen to any music for a fucking ages, and then I
thought it was recently. I'm like, do you got words for me?
No, not recently. No. I've enjoyed all your stuff recently because like blatant honesty. I like you guys' cover of It's Going Down Now, but I still prefer the original. I'm still going to listen to that.
Yeah.
But you guys did a really good cover. I'm a fan of it. But that's my brutal honesty. I still prefer the original.
Yeah.
But that's fucking... There you go. But nah, that was years ago. More recently, like, a lot of your shit's been popping off and it's just been doing really well. Like,
yeah.
That's all... You especially the past few years, have found your groove. And... like, listening to all your more recent shit as well, Hypotoria, like, that's why, as unfortunate as it sounds, like, all the more recent stuff is the stuff I am definitely like, more of a fan of, especially because, like, you're at your peak, or you're at a point where your experience is now like taking you and is able to help you perform and make music that is really, 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 really good.
Yeah, no,
So-
for sure. Like, and that's I'm really glad to hear that. Because yeah, I've been putting a lot of work in, and I know that you've been putting a lot of work in your shit too. But
Speaking of, we have about a few hours after this ends.
Yes.
To finish up the song I've been working on over the past couple days. We're doing a cover of Judgment from Blue Lock.
Oh yeah, baby.
So we are. So
yes, we will probably.
that will be going up tomorrow.
Yeah.
If all things, if things work out. So that'll be
All
going up
right.
tomorrow.
You also need to do one more thing. You need to go to Dick's Sporting Goods when it opens. Get some boxing gloves, like 2 pairs, and you need to throw 1 pair at Cam Steady when you see him. And challenge him to a fight.
True.
Just fucking
True.
have a punch on.
He's been posting a lot about going to the gym, so I don't like my odds.
No, he's talking about me.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
the one who's gonna throw it. Who's gonna challenge Cam Steady to a fight?
You each put a glove on one fist and you challenge him to a 2-on-1.
Power of friendship type punch. Like,
Fusion, go!
Powers all.
the fucking My Hero movie where
Oh,
Bakugo and
yeah. They both have one for all. Fuck
Yeah.
yeah. Oh my god, you're so right. I'll have to hold myself back from punching Cam Steady, but you know.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I
That's
hear he's
right.
not that
If
tall.
you-
So.
He might be a little stronger than me. I've been going to the gym too though recently.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, not that
Good,
I have a lot
good.
of muscle on me, but like you know, I think I could outmaneuver him.
yeah,
I think
you're more
my
agile.
My quickness,
like, yeah.
I think my quickness is probably a little better.
You got him. Well, thank you very much, Phil, for joining us on this special guest podcast.
Yes. Thank you for having me.
Where can all the peeps find you? Where should they find you?
Plug. It's an at. You're at Hypotoria.
Yeah, it's at Hypotoria on Twitter, Hypotoria on like Spotify and YouTube.
Yep.
Like it's
YouTube.com
youtube.com/@Hypotoria.
/
@Hypotoria. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Fuck that ads.
But no, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, glad to have you, man.
No problem.
Thanks for
No,
letting me
it's
just
awesome
like
to finally-
rant for 2 hours.
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
Way
That's
more
all
than
we
2
do.
hours.
I mean, that's fucking. That's
Yeah,
life,
no,
bro.
seriously.
all-
That's like we go for a long time. You know,
Yeah,
our last Persona 3 reload session was like 11 hours.
Jesus Christ.
that was absolutely mental. That was fucked. Yeah, and stay tuned for. I'm assuming, is the plan for the Pokemon Nuzlocke still going to go ahead? Is
yeah.
that-
So we started
Yeah.
it the other day.
Yeah.
Phil and I together while he's here are gonna hopefully complete. We're pretty well on our way.
Yeah,
we made some good progress in only a
we've
few
done the
hours.
second badge
So
now.
we've only done one session in about 3 hours, and we've already got the second gym badge. So we're doing a Shining Pearl Nuzlocke. We have
Fuck yeah.
it's been pretty did death free so far.
Yeah.
So that's spoilers, I guess. But like, it's only been this probably will be like 2 episodes, the equivalent of like 2 episodes that we recorded. I'll split it down the middle.
Yeah.
And then we'll hopefully complete the game after we come back.
Yeah.
So we'll have plenty of
We've got
downtime.
like a week after we get back to like go. So
Mhm. So
Fuck yeah.
we'll have plenty of time to get that done, and that'll be coming out on Wednesdays. So we'll have Rain Code episodes coming out on Saturdays. So this will probably come out towards the end of July.
So it'll be
this
the
guest
second.
podcast will probably come out towards the end of July on a Wednesday. Would be a Thursday for you in Australia.
yeah.
Yeah,
And then on weekly on Saturdays we'll have Rain Code episodes, and then weekly on Wednesdays will be Pokemon episodes.
Yeah. Sick.
So
the Wednesday will be this one, and then it'll be the second Paper Lily, and then from there it will be
this
the rest of Raincode and Shining Pearl Nuzlocke.
yes.
Hell yeah.
So
Yes, and then
Stay
eventually,
tuned, ladies
when
and gents.
so then eventually, I don't know how many episodes it'll end up being, but once Rain Code will end right before episode I guess comes out, and then we'll be doing that, and it'll be Persona 3 and the Nuzlocke
Yeah.
next
Sick.
on weekly.
Yeah.
So
Yes, sir.
yes, sir. But
So
yeah,
stay tuned, ladies and gents. You're gonna get more of Gus and Hypotoria.
yes,
Hell yeah.
Very soon.
very soon.
Excellent.
I don't know what I'm gonna do for thumbnails yet, but I'll figure it out.
In Google Slides.
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
In Google Slides.
In Google Slides, absolutely.
Shaking my head.
Yeah.
All right.
How about you shake my
thank you,
22,000
everybody.
subscribers, bitch?
Fuck.
Damn.
Jesus. Hey, why don't you share some of that with Firestorm? What the fuck, bro? What are you doing?
I said them over
hogging them all.
sometimes.
I know you. The genuinely, like, the episodes only pop off when you share them. It's so funny. The last Persona, like, all the Persona 3 episodes were like, yeah, 2 likes, yeah, whatever. And then the final one you actually shared, oh, whoa, where did all these views come from?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Classic.
Yep.
Real. Anyway, hope you guys like the episode. Thank you for tuning in.
Yes, thank
Catch
you.
you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Ah! Wait, we gotta stop yelling.
Bye.